What up, y'all? It's your man, C.McCarver.Jr. representing the San Francisco 49ers all day, every day, man. All day, every day, man. We here with another episode, man. Episode 3, man. Yes, Friday Night's Faithful, man. I decided to put like a question after this episode, more like a title. It's off season, so we don't usually have lot to talk about, or usually there is some things to talk about, but it is what it is. Put the question, will 49ers make the playoffs this year? See, Cynthia was already up in here and she said yes. I've been having conversations with people like all week. Um, and it's weird. It seems like it was more than one person who was talking about this. And I know every year what we do, anybody is wanting the team to get to the damn playoffs, right? Uh, do I think we gonna get to the playoffs? We can. I mean, the schedule is kind of easy. But you gotta remember something too. Once you get to the playoffs, then it ain't the same damn teams we played in the easy schedule. It's teams that really deserve to be in that mother club. You know what I'm saying? What up, Vet? Vet says they will make it to the playoffs. Yeah, they should, man. It's the schedule, like I said, the schedule is, Now I'm not sitting up here taking track of these other teams that we're gonna be playing. Like we played the NFC South and the AFC South. So as far as changes and stuff that they made and all that, but man, come on. I mean, we still got enough playmakers on this team, man. To make some things happen. I do believe this is a Juwan Jennings year right here. Why not? George Kittle was still here, man. Still got to be a beast. Here's another question, though. Are we still going to make the playoffs with Jake Moody? Because I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all know it should have easily been more than freaking 6 games last season. It should have been more. But it is what it is, man. Off season coming around, man. It's just a whole bunch of turmoil and all this other stuff. But yes, we would make the playoffs. And then the other question would be not for tonight. Not for tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Cynthia said, no, we definitely need another kicker. We damn sure need another kicker, man, because it would have been more than 6 games last year, man. It wasn't for this goddamn kicker. We got to work. I don't know what. That'll be a story within itself. And the Niners, what's the story with getting a new kicker? It seems like they trying to beef up special teams. The special team guy from the Jets come over here and say, I don't like Moody. I mean, what it is, Yeah. Oh, man. What's up, Ruben? What up, my guys? Been a minute. I hated losing Debo and all the other guys we lost, but we going to be a little younger and hopefully Cal can work his magic. So I think we in. Yeah, Tone is in the building. What's up, Tone? Yeah, we lost some people, man. Debo, him leaving, we still got, I mean, to me, it wasn't no big loss, man. It was time. I felt like it was time for him to go anyway, man. We want some people to get out there and make some plays, man. It was cool when Debo was here. It was being Debo, but we still got playmakers over here on offense. Yes, we got to get something started with that offensive line, but like I said, believe it's a Juwan Jennings year. This is the year to make him bust out. And then whatever they do with Brock Purdy, I mean, it really would be nice if they would make this man really try to earn his money this year, because he's going to play real good. He's going to play hard. We can get to the damn playoff. And then, like I said, that other question going to be, once we get to the playoffs, what the hell we going to do with who we got? Still got Lenore. Still got Green. Not but Greenlaw. I know he gone. Y'all. We should make it to the playoffs. These guys that we lost. I know these was names, but we still got playmakers. We still got to fill holes a little bit. Look like we got to depend on the draft, but it's a lot of defensive linemen in here. We know rookies can't just come in a lot of times and just play like starters. Some can, though. If we can pick right, we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Hey, you still asking about man? No, she ain't here, man. Hey is on it. She ain't here, man. She not here. She not here, man. But yeah, who gonna give us problems this season? Like I said, we play the AFC South and the NFC South. I don't like going off of last year records on any team because look at our team, right? We won 6 games and we could have easily won more than that. You know what I mean? But I didn't throughout the teams that we are playing, I haven't seen any significant changes. I just don't, I just don't see it. Now the questions are who most definitely is going to the playoffs, and what we gonna do about it when we get there. But this is one step away, man. The key is gotta, and y'all already know we gotta stay healthy, man. We gotta stay healthy. If we stay healthy, most definitely most definitely get into the playoffs, man. That's the key. That's been the key every year. There's always somebody getting hurt that we really need, man. Big Daddy 49er said we taking it all the way, baby. We show that, man. Shoot. We taking it all the way. Ain't nobody stopping us no matter what league, the Northwest, South, we taking it all the way. That's always got to be the goddamn spirit, man. And like I said last week, man, we hosting the Super Bowl, man. Damn, man. Shoot, man. We got to make something work. Ruben says, yes, sir, we're going to be all right. What you think about our GM Lynch? Me personally, I think he's pretty good on the draft, except for the whole Trey Lance pick. We still don't know the story behind the whole Trey Lance who picked. I mean, obviously, we're thinking it was John Lynch because we had discussions about Kyle Shanahan wanting Mac Jones, and now he finally got Mac Jones. But I think I said last week about John Lynch. The thing is with him, he became a GM with no experience doing that kind of work, but just, ex-NFL guy. When he talks, he sells it. Not saying he's a bullshitter, but he just sounds good. Sounds like he is motivated. He wants to get this team to go. But sometimes, man, you got to be around it to really know how to think. I mean, think about this whole Brandon Ayuk thing last year. That thing just went too damn long. It was just caused too much turmoil. Like, if you're not sure about it, and maybe you shouldn't be, I don't know. You got to follow your gut sometimes. But that's when the inexperience happens and you take longer with decisions and then you come to a conclusion, But he's learning. It's just like Kyle Shanahan being a head coach. There's a difference here. Robert Saleh being a head coach, there's a difference there. Great defensive coordinator, but a head coach, some people could do it, some people can't. I can't imagine somebody you might be able to come right in as a coach and win because the team's good, you know what I mean? But it takes time. Positions take time. So anyway, this whole Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they've been here long enough now to really know what the hell they need to do. It's like us as fans, we've been getting so goddamn close and we just can't get it. And I want to have a conversation with those guys because they tell us that's what they want to do, right? They want to win. They want to do all of that, especially Kyle Shanahan. Like, you want to win, and you basically got the head. And anybody know, like my son know, just from playing Madden, that you run the damn ball to kill the clock. So as smart as a offensive genius that this guy is. It's like, yeah. So this year, come on, let's get to the playoffs. Let's stay healthy. Let's stay smart. I know we lost some names, but we still got to hold it down. Fred Warner got to figure it out. I know with Greenlaw on the side of him, it's hard to beat that damn defense, but just got to figure it out. Hopefully we get a nice one in the draft, a nice linebacker in the draft. But just for the pieces that we still do have, we can still make some noise. And hopefully we can draft around it the right way. And Kyle Shanahan, my brother, come on, man. Everybody's saying we going to make it to the playoffs. I believe that too. But we still got to stay healthy. And Jake Moody, it's really hard to say. It's like we definitely going to get there with this fool on our team. Hopefully some changes get made, though. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that is the answer, man. Who's a favorite for our pick 11? My audio kind of choppy. I think why? Because I think I'm going in and out of the microphone like let me take this hat off too. Turn your mic setting to automatic. I think I did, my brother. Hold on, man. Let me technical difficulties, man. But there's really not a long discussion about the question though. We gonna make the playoffs. Yeah. It's like Jake Moody. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Don't call me. That might be the problem because I had that unchecked last time. All right, anyway. That's funny. JD. He said to ensure optimal audio quality in StreamYard, you should enable automatically adjust mic volume. Stable echo cancellation. Yeah, I did all that. Actually, last time I didn't even have it on. But let me turn it up. We gonna work with it. Maybe I'm chopped because this damn music is playing. But anyway, I'm about to open this up because the question at hand is just a quick yes or no. But that is funny how that's just been a discussion I've had with people all week. Yes, we still got solid people on our team, but like when the news come when somebody's leaving, it's like, oh, what's going on? I felt like that too because we want some good news to come out this offseason. We don't sit around here and be waiting on stuff. You know what I mean? Sup? Let's get this crack a lacking, y'all. Let's get this crack a lacking. About to put the link in. All right, I'm copying the link now. Putting this up in here. Yeah, but I want to know. All right, just put the link in. If y'all want to hop on, talk a little bit about it, Last week, if y'all wasn't here last week, too, a couple of us were on here and been making videos for a very long time, man, on this YouTube platform, just repping the Niners, man. That's what we do, man. Love this team, man. But it's like, I hate to say it too, man, but you know what, man? It's almost like, you know what? I'm not gonna be biased either. It's like when a relationship is one-sided and somebody's giving they all into the relationship, like we love this team, but then they don't give a damn about it. We keep showing up. We keep, we gonna keep doing that, but it's like, man, come on, man. If we telling y'all, anyway, don't get me started. I don't even want to change the topic at hand. But we'll have to. We get to the playoff. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it look like I know the Jazz got a new coach. I think that's where Robert Saleh was trying to go or something like that. He gonna probably need a little time to adjust. But look like the home game, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, man, NFC West are little regular opponents we play all the time. Again, along with the path of making it to the playoffs, can we sweep the goddamn Cardinals? Please. Can we please sweep the Cardinals? Please. There is no reason why this little midget quarterback is beating us like that. I'll tell y'all, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? I don't and it's not even it's annoying when you know you should beat a goddamn team like that, and then they just do it. I just can't stand that. Hold on, y'all. I think Trey. Tone said I gotta pick up dinner for the fam. Coming back, brother. Oh yeah, it's all good, man. Take your time. I'm gonna be here, man. It's just my I ain't got no pie, boy. You asked for pie? No damn pie. God damn it. You just had something to eat, boy. Peep out how we freak out on stand. Okay, there we go. My bad, fam. My bad. Yeah, but Arizona, come on, man. It's along the way. That is along the way. We gotta take care of NFC West. First of all, I don't want to squeeze in the playoffs. Okay. I want to win our division. Now, can we do that? That has to be the reason why we get in the playoffs, because we beat our division. We know our schedule is weak, but that has to be the number one priority. Let's get into the playoffs because we beat our division. Ruben says, if we make the playoffs, does Brock get a new contract? Well, see, I think in the real world, in reality, what we want to see is Brock. See, I've heard a lot of people say, if this was 2023 year and then Brock was coming for his contract, he would get it. But just how he performed last year, he don't deserve all that money. So, maybe he's willing to try to prove that he deserves a lot more. I don't know, but people talking about they're gonna pay this man. They have to, because that's what they do giving quarterback. But I do like the idea of, yeah, we got Mac Jones over here, and you're feeling pressured by that, even though Mac Jones is over here to be a backup. But you got to keep people in suspense. You know what I mean? Brock Purdy's agent is asking for that much money. We want to know how this man really feel about it. Ruben says, plus, I think Seattle downgraded on their quarterback and lost receivers. Yeah, a lot hit all them boys gone. But that's my point. That's my point. We should, even if they were still there, we still should be able to beat our rivals. Well, rival. I have a strong definition when it comes to rivals. But the people that are in NFC West, we should own that. We should have owned it for the past decade, if you ask me. Even over these Rams that we keep having these close games, and we got to win that first, though. We have to do that. No doubt. NFC West, and we in there. No problem. No problem. Then we get to, NFC South, Carolina, Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay. Yes, the goal is to win every damn game. We must do that, right? But if we stay healthy, especially if you got, Christian McCaffrey, Garundo in there, we can do that. Stay healthy. Then come on. We got Kyle Juice check back to block. We got this other tight end. I forgot his name. Block. George Kittle can get loose. We can make it work if we make smart decisions, man. Telling y'all, man, we can get there, but we gotta beat our division. We have to save that other question to when we getting close to the playoffs. Now, are we gonna actually dominate in the playoffs? Are we gonna actually be successful? There's a lot of teams out there, whatever sport you talking, any sport you could think of, where one team was very favored than the other because of the players and just, but the other team was smart enough to beat the team that was more skilled, had teammates on that other team that was more athletic, but they lost because they just got outplayed, And I know we're that team. It's just about executing at the right time and having the right goddamn kicker. But I am looking forward to this special teams this year. That could be a plus. Can we please run it in for a touchdown? Punt return. Be nice, right? That turns around. That can help a little bit because it's funny how close we've been, but we've always had such a crappy freaking special teams. Think about if our special teams was good. Maybe that's the little bit that we needed to get over, But we got to address this kicker. How many of y'all really think? I mean, everybody said we gonna make it to the playoffs. Now are we gonna win our division with Jake Moody, or are we not gonna win our division with Jake Moody? You know what I'm saying? But we gotta win our division. But we gotta beat the Cardinals because I'm tired of that. That don't even make no sense. We up on the team and then they come back and win. Tennessee Titans. See, and you know what, man? In Chicago Bears. Who else? Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, Colts, the Giants. Like these opponents, man, no doubt. But that's what I'm talking about. I want to beat our division. That way we take care of our own business. Just like that. Then the question is, what seed y'all think we gonna get to with a weak schedule? You think we can be like number 4 beating our division? Shoot, y'all already know it'd be nice to get number 1, but shoot, there's other teams that stacked, well coached, and all this other stuff. So we'll see. We'll see though. It's funny what they're gonna do with this quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I got one. Okay, Ruben say yes, it's all good, my brother. Sorry, I don't mean to keep asking all the questions. It's all good. But I got one for you. If we don't make it to the playoffs, is Lynch Shanahan on the hot seat? I think they on the hot seat right now. I think they booted cheeks as red as those jerseys up there. Because I'm sure somewhere along the line, with not spending no money this year, the Yorks get to sit back. And it's funny. I'm not talking about Jed because we never know what this man thinking, but Daddy York, I'm sure they sitting back now and like, all right, y'all, we not spending no money. You the coach, you Kyle Shanahan, you're the genius, right? You're the genius. And make it work with what you got. I mean, they got some decent people up. We got decent people. We got the Hawk hater, JD, in the place. D.
What up, McCarver? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Am I still sounding choppy?
Yeah, the audio's not good. It keeps like cutting out. The sound will cut out. It'll be choppy. I don't know if it's your internet or if it's the mic settings. I don't know.
It could be. You know what? It could. Wait, hold on. It could be the internet. Matter of fact, I think about it. When I think about it, my brother. Oh yeah. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's Sonic. That's Sonic. All right. Well,
you got your kids playing video games or something right now? They sharing the internet right now?
Probably right here on his tablet with his headphones on and stuff.
I don't know.
Let me do this. I don't want to do that while I'm on live. All right, let me. But while I do that though, well, that's my thing, Roman. He said, but ain't we broke? No, what I'm saying is they want to make it. We gotta make it work with what we have. You know. Um, I mean, hey JD, real quick, while I'm looking at this, right? It's like
Yep.
I want to make it to the playoffs, beating our division. I know the schedule's weak, but that's how I want to get there for damn sure. You know.
I mean, with the fact that the schedule's so easy on paper, there's no reason that the Niners shouldn't win the NFC West. Even with the offseason that they've had, as as long as they're healthy, there's no excuses. They should be able to win the division and make the playoffs. With this schedule, like if they win less than 10, 11 games, it's terrible. Like there's no reason that they shouldn't win at least 10 or 11 games just based on the schedule alone.
Right.
So, I mean, the only one that hurts us in terms of guys we've lost is Greenlaw. Everything else was kind of expected, or we already have replacements in order. Like, the Greenlaw one, it sucks. And we got to see how they ultimately decide to replace him. We got the draft coming up in about a month. I still think they may go the veteran route, maybe go after like a C.J. Mosley from the Jets.
C.J. Mosley. Yeah.
C.J. Mosley's available, and he had a down year in 24, but the year before he was killing it. So as long as he's healthy and can still move around, and who's going to know better than Robert Saleh? I would bring in a C.J. Mosley if you can, and then draft somebody in the third, fourth round that Saleh can develop. And Saleh, even with the Jets, Saleh continued to develop really good linebackers with guys like Quincy Williams and Jamie and Sherwood. So, they'll get the linebacker position figured out. It's just a matter of who and a matter of when. But it just sucks that like. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it just sucks because we don't know who at the moment or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So,
and D Winters is another guy that maybe that's who they end up going with is D Winters, and
that's what we talked about last week, right?
Yeah, we hit on that a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm not going to pass any judgment or make any predictions really until we get past this draft and we see what the team actually looks like. I still think the Niners may end up potentially trying to trade for some people. I can't see the 49ers starting 2 rookie defensive tackles up front. They're going to draft a couple, but I can't see them starting 2 rookies. Maybe they go after a veteran on the free agent market. Maybe they trade for somebody at the wide receiver spot. With Ayuk, Ayuk's not getting traded, by the way, and with Ayuk not coming back till midseason, they're going to probably need to sign another receiver. They'll probably draft 1, 2. Maybe you go after an Amari Cooper. That's a name. But with the way the Niners are pinching pennies, like that's another part that makes this whole thing frustrating and kind of just uncertain. Is we're not spending money and no one's really talking and no one really knows why. And they have the owners meetings this weekend, and I want to see what Grant Cohn and the other beat writers ask Jed York and ask Kyle Shanahan, like, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? Why are you guys not spending any money? What's your plan? So this weekend will actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to talk. I'm just trying to talk and buy you time so you can figure out your stuff.
No, just let me know if it's still sounding choppy.
It still sounds kind of robot.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds robot-y.
Like
hold on.
Like it's just.
How about
weird.
now? How about now? Still sound?
Still choppy, kind of robot-y. Yeah, and you checked your settings, right? You put everything to automatic and all that, and did all that.
That's funny. I didn't have none of that checked last week. Yeah, hold on, man.
Did you have it checked to start this? Did you have it checked to start this stream or unchecked?
No, I did it automatically. Hold on. Now with the headphones on, I can most definitely hear what you're hearing. Okay, hold on.
Because maybe uncheck them and see what it does. You know, if you didn't have them checked last week. Right. I don't even really know exactly too much about StreamYard. I've never really messed with it. But I know from watching other people's streams kind of what people do to fix their issues. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, last time also. Oh, hold on.
I use OBS. So
testing. Ooh. Mic, man.
Keep talking.
Hold on.
I think you might be okay.
I thought maybe because I had the music playing in the background this time.
Nope, it's still doing
some Thundercat playing. You didn't hear it though.
Yeah, you got to play some Thundercat, man. Gotta, you know.
No, let me do it this way.
If you got a bunch of people, on your internet, it could be that.
Testing. Better.
I mean, your volume.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yep,
wait.
Yeah,
no.
Still a robot.
Hold on. Testing. Still choppy?
Yep.
Ooh, chop suey. It's the Niners' fault. Hold on. All right.
How do I sound to you? Do I sound choppy to you, or do I sound clear?
No, you clear as hell.
You
are clear. Hold on, dog.
Right, that's funny. Test. Oh no. Test. It's funny. I could hear myself real good.
Yeah, you sound clear. I think it sounds a little bit better now, but you're not as
still
choppy.
Yeah, it's still the same. Wait, hold on.
Nope, you just did a little bit of that. So, I think it's your internet.
Could be. Hold on. Let me try this.
Yell at your kids. Hey, get off the tablet. If they're gaming or downloading stuff.
Yeah, it could be that. Oh, I could really cheat right now. You know, I didn't even think about that, but most definitely next week I am going to be hooked up through hardwire, not Wi-Fi. Because there is.
Oh, if you're wireless too right now. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then everything's right here.
Gotcha.
So that makes sense. Because I don't think. Like I said, I got my headphones directly to my interface right now, so it sounds clear, of course, right out of the interface. But that's why I'm chop suey. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds better now.
Well, that's okay. I did switch it to a 2.4. I mean, 5 is faster, obviously, but the range is better.
Yeah, you sound way better now. You sound way better now.
Okay. Well, let's see if
the audio quality is not as good, but you're not chopping up. You're clear. You're good.
It's not as good as last week, or was it the same last week?
Last week was fine. You didn't have any issues last week to me.
Okay. I'll most definitely do like some testing, some more troubleshooting over the weekend. But we just gonna get through this night since
I think you're good now.
Okay. But I forgot.
It's probably your internet. Just get hardwired, or next time before you go live, maybe like reset your router. Maybe try that. I don't know.
Well, you know, I think it is because there's 1,000 people on it right now, like right here. But that's funny. I go hardwire with when I'm playing my Call of Duty. You know, I don't play that. I don't want no glitch going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If all the people in your house are on it right now, then yeah, that'll cause that too.
Oh yeah. But oh yeah, there's more people up in here. Salute. What's up, my brother? There's something here. It's chopping like a screwed up tape.
Someone else in the chat says that's your internet too. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was tripping off of just everything being wired up. I'm like, I didn't have this check, I didn't have it, but that makes sense. So yeah, I know how to fix that next time. You know, I gotta. Yeah, no issue there. So, okay. So JD, we still making the playoffs with Jake Moody.
I mean, yeah, but yeah. I hate the fact that any big kick is going to come down to Jake Moody. Like,
right.
We've all felt that way since they drafted him. Like, how are you going to go into a season with a Super Bowl roster and have a rookie kicker? Like, we've talked about this for years, and it's still the same problem because he hasn't gotten any better. And, you know, any big kick, Niner fans are holding their breath, and it's terrible. They need to figure that out. And they've replaced the entire special teams. Like, they've brought in so many new special teams guys, a new long snapper, all kinds of stuff, but they haven't replaced the actual problem. And I don't know. I
don't know. What do you think the plan is though with that? Do you think they just? I don't know. Who was the guy that they brought in last year?
They brought in a couple. I think didn't they bring in like Anders Carlson and another guy when Moody was hurt? I'm trying to remember who else it was. I can't remember the other guy.
Yeah. So the guy that they brought in, I think what it was is if it's a new guy in there, he makes a kick and he makes it. Everybody's like, keep him.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And my thing was, I would have kept him on the damn roster, and I don't know. That's why I'm trying to understand their logic sometimes of. What is the plan? Y'all want to win just like us, but you not.
Their plan is Moody was a 3rd-round pick. They don't want to look stupid, so they're trying to hold on to him as long as they can and see if they can salvage it. But what I think is going to happen, we're going to see the same old Jake Moody. He's going to either cost us a game or miss multiple field goals in a game at some point, you know, early on, midway through the year. Then they're finally going to cut him because the fan base is just going to have enough and be pissed, and you're going to hear it. And I think that then when they see it again that he's not getting better and still having the same problems, I think maybe midway through the year they cut him and then they finally bring in somebody else.
I actually like that theory. I mean, that sounds like us. That sounds exactly like the Niners would do. Watch this guy like just have an excellent preseason, right? And then the season start, and then it's full missing important kicks. I mean, but to the question though, we still should make the playoffs with the Jake Moody. It's just kind of like but we should based on how. But like you said,
and you know what else? You know what else is going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what else is going to happen is after they cut Jake Moody and he goes to another team, then he's suddenly going to be really good. That's what's going to happen too.
Seahawks.
We've Eric Saubert, our backup tight end, just went there.
Yeah. So, JD, what did you say? What did y'all say when I was trying to call Mr. Frisco last week? Because he didn't answer.
Laughing. We were just laughing. We were just like, he's really calling this guy right now.
Probably somewhere drinking or something, right?
He's probably passed out. Yeah.
No, I don't know if you could. I'll just read what he texted me the next morning. He said, "What up, C-Mac? My bad, I missed your call. You know your boy was at the damn bar." LOL.
Of course. We all called it. We knew it.
Yeah, he actually said that just last season. He just wasn't feeling it at all. He wasn't feeling the draft. He just was like, he glad if we did anything, if we didn't do nothing, we beat them damn Cowboys, you know, or
Yeah.
you know, just throughout the years. But he said this year he's really paying attention. We got to get something cracking. I did tell him about our plan about trying to get together for the first away game, so he down for that. He got it checked and all that, so that's gonna be pretty good. But we got to how. I mean, what about staying healthy? It's like, what if we? And it's a hard question because you don't know who's gonna get hurt, who's gonna stay healthy. But it's like that's always a factor too of what we're gonna actually do. I mean, yeah, Christian McCaffrey.
The only thing I feel like you can actually predict is that the Niners were so beat up last year that they can't possibly be that beat up again this year. I think they're going to have a little bit better luck. Now it all depends on, because people are going to get hurt. That's going to happen. It's just a matter of who. We have to keep the key guys healthy and try to limit the number of those guys that get hurt. If we can somehow have Trent Williams play 15, 16, games, minimum, then we'll be okay. But he's going to miss a handful of games. That's in there, but you got to keep it to a handful because he's got, if he misses more than that, we're kind of screwed, especially now that Jalen Moore's gone.
Yeah. Remember a few years ago, they were blaming it on the strength and conditioning coach a few years ago, why people were getting hurt. And I don't think you can just really pinpoint what that actually is. We do have this thing about, I guess, taking risk on people that have injuries in the past, crossing our fingers, hoping. Do you think, I mean, with this whole switch, seems like we're trying to go young and we're trying to start over. Do you think the Niners should stay away from that completely? Because it can go hand in hand. Somebody in the draft has got these crazy numbers when they're on the field healthy, but they always getting hurt. I would like to just, because there's teams out there that don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? I think
if it's a later round pick, I'm good with it, but you can't do it early. You can't first, second, third, even maybe fourth round. You can't take that gamble then. But if you get in the 5th, 6th, 7th round and there's someone there, then that's when you take that swing, but not early. You can't, not this year.
Yeah, right.
And I think the biggest issue with the Niners in terms of the injuries, to me, it's not the training staff. It's not the age of the roster. What it is, and I have a video on my channel that I made back in 2018 talking about this topic. And 2018 was Shanahan's second year as the head coach. So he'd only been here less than 2 full seasons when I made this video. And I said it's the scheme. It's the fact that they like smaller, quicker guys on the line, smaller, quicker linebackers, smaller defensive ends. They like guys that they like more speed and athleticism than they do size. This team needs to get bigger. That's the problem to me when it comes to the injuries. Look at the Jim Harbaugh
That's
team.
A good point, baby. Yeah.
Look how big the Jim Harbaugh teams were with their offensive and defensive lines. Look at how big. Go watch our Baltimore Ravens game and look at how big their lines are. And those guys don't get hurt like a Kyle Shanahan line does.
Come on, man.
It's just it's the scheme. It's the scheme.
Yeah. That's a good point. That is a real good point. I think we spend, and when I say we, just the Niner fans, a lot of times we spend a lot of times in the off season looking for that big change, listening to these big names who we draft. Oh, he was fast. He did this, but we're getting away from the small principles, like you said. Size matters in certain positions, and we don't, that's a good point. That's a real good point. Hardball years. Yeah, them boys was meaty in the defensive line.
And that's why Trent Williams is so special when he's playing, is because he's huge and he's athletic. He's both.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to find both. It's next to impossible to find both. But the Niners got to do their best to get bigger. I think once they get a little bit bigger, beef up those trenches, then I think you'll see the health thing kind of change a little bit.
You think this is his last year?
Shanahan or Trent?
No, Trent Williams.
Trent? I don't know. That's tough. He's always said he wants to play until he's 40. So I'm going to stick with that. But if he keeps getting beat up real bad, I could see him hanging it up because he's been getting beat up a lot. And if he's not playing and he's getting beat up and the team's not winning, maybe he hangs it up. But he's always talked about playing until 40. And, as long as he's playing and the team's winning, and, obviously he just restructured his deal last offseason. So he's got a lot of money coming to him. I'm gonna say he keeps playing beyond this year.
Yeah. The side question to that is he gonna stay healthy?
Right.
But he won't. But it's like for him to get hurt, it's like, okay, he's up in age, so it's kind of hard, but I don't know. Oh, this guy. I didn't want to. Yeah, he was like, got to bring back those late night sifts and rep out of Niners, man. Passing out online and stuff. I really thought about that. It was something different, man. I know, yeah, but no, yeah, maybe. No, now it's like I said before, I can't just do that because it's just wild. And tomorrow is like the first day in a long time I don't have to get up and do anything. But Sunday, my son has practice from 9 to 11, and then 2 games after practice. Yeah. But man, JD, I'm like I said, man, I think this girl is gonna be a gold rush, man. I really do.
When did she find out?
She finds out on Wednesday morning. I'm gonna be the first person she calls, and but she did really. I mean, the audition that she did is she just looks like she's part of them,
Mm-hmm.
But
did you watch her audition?
Just got accepted. Yeah, she did. She just got accepted to Langston in Oklahoma, Jackson State, a couple of other ones she applied to, but her ultimate goal is to get to UCLA and get her degree in law. Mm-hmm. That's her ultimate goals. But if she gets this gold rush, she just gonna do a JC and do that, and then work her way to UCLA. And I was like, that's a good plan. As long as you got a plan. But yeah, that's a proud moment within itself of being a fan and then having kids and raising them up as being Niner fans. And then something turns out of that, not the main important thing in life, but part of your fanhood is something you always wanted to do. And so how
special is that, man? Like, you've been a Niner fan forever. Now your daughter's going to be a Gold Rush girl. Like that's got to be awesome, bro. I'm pulling for her, man. I'm hoping she gets it.
Yeah. Then I get to sit back and go. I'm really be online now and see what people are saying. And mind you, not really get upset or anything of something I'm reading on the internet. But I just think it'd be funny to sit back now and just randomly ask people, hey, what do you think about the Gold Rush? What do you think about that one? What do you think about this one? It's just random stuff, Mike.
You got to make sure you got to make sure you don't get upset because reading, somebody might say something slick and you might want to, reach through that computer screen. You know what I mean?
Right. So. Yeah. Right. But yeah, it's to a certain limit. But at the same time, but that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool because it's like now. Now it's like I gotta most definitely. I have to be at those games as she's doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's when, Dominique's gonna have to get this boy around. But there's most definitely a difference with the father being there at the games, with him being there versus her, because she she didn't play basketball or anything, so she's screaming on the sideline. I'm like, no, slow down. But I got it. Don't. But I think he's at the age too where he knows. I mean, he gonna hear it, but it ain't gonna affect his gameplay. But yeah, that should be fun. That should be fun. But back to these Niners. It's funny how, and I guess I'm doing the same thing too. I mean, I've talked to my father-in-law this week. I talked to a coworker, and all we talked about is the 49ers going to make it to the playoffs this year. And I think the questioning is coming up because of the names that we lost. But look at the schedule, like we have already said. And I mean, for the most part, everybody said, yeah, we're going to make it to the playoffs. And off season, what is there really to talk about besides what is going on right now? I mean, you got people stretching out this Brandon Ayuk thing. Oh, the Browns want him, and it's just stuff to, I don't know, keep a damn circle going. But the draft is the next best thing.
He ain't getting traded. He ain't getting traded.
Yeah, right. The draft is the next best thing. That's gonna be fun.
And then the schedule comes out in May.
Yeah, like maybe it'll be the May 1st, maybe, or it's always on that Wednesday.
It's like the second week of May. The second week of May, somewhere around the May 11th, May 12th, something like that.
Yeah. So we get to see what game we gonna get together at. But we'll know if this girl's gonna be a gold rush, and that's gonna be a balance right there. That's gonna be a crazy balance. But luckily, that's after the summer, because I might do a reset and say I got to be at these games now, because again, this first year of being on this Paul George team is like you got to just go. You got to just go, and I have to. Now, and I don't want to sound like a biased dad or anything, but if he was just a regular player on a team, then we wouldn't be traveling. You know what I mean? You just be playing, but there's opportunities here too. And this team's so good, we don't pay. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. It's dope. And we got to keep winning to get, but that's a whole nother topic. Let's talk about this. Yes, they do keep raising these damn season tickets on us.
Yep.
When I thought the way it went is when a team does really good, that's when you try to raise it. But when they don't, and you still raise it, right? Was it for the soccer team, or are they still trying to recoup money for that stadium?
I mean, they have two soccer teams now. They're trying to sell 10% ownership in the team to get like $900 million, in their wallets. As far as the season tickets getting raised, they put out the renewals every November. That's when the season tickets renew. And so they put it out last November while the season was still going and we were still technically alive and could potentially make the playoffs. And so it's not like they came to us after the season when we already know that we had a terrible year and then they raised the tickets. Now they raised the tickets while we were still kind of alive and people were still, involved and all that kind of thing. I'm curious if they're going to raise them again this coming year. I'm sure they will, but when's it going to stop? Like they've raised them, I think 5 out of the last 6 years. The only time they haven't raised them since 2019 was COVID.
I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? I don't. And this goes back to what I was saying before when I kind of first started. It's like but this is with every business, man, every job. When there's like a big time CEO up top, all he really cares about is how much money he's going to make. You don't take the time. And I think in this situation, yes, I mean, the players are on the field. Those are the people that are actually, the entertainment part of it. But if you're really trying to make sure those seats are filled, you gotta really take in what the fans are suggesting and what they would like to see. When I used to work for Comcast, you got the head guy that runs it. And then we're the ones showing up to people's houses, doing the appointments, and we know what it would take to make it better. But you're not trying to hear that. You just want the numbers there. But we're telling you, if you do this, it'll go a lot smoother. And this is what the customers are saying. So when we get online, I know these people, if they're not listening directly, they're getting the message clearly from somebody. Even somebody like a Grant Cohn, right? I know they're listening. I know they are.
Oh yeah.
And
they have employees that their job is to monitor what's going on and what the fans are saying and stuff like that.
Check this out. You remember when I forgot what year it was, but you remember when Katina messed it up for everybody to go on the field full because she failed and all that, right? What was funny about it is when I had talked to Dennis Brown maybe 2 months after that happened, and he was like, man, it was a few of us all in the office just looking at that video and just laughing at it. And what that told me, I was like, damn, y'all really be looking at stuff, but y'all don't let it be known. Y'all look at stuff. So I know they hear us. It's just, there's a lot more to it when it comes to making these decisions for these teams. But it's like, I'm sure Shanahan heard enough of just run the damn ball when you have the lead, but he doesn't do it.
But the Niners definitely are listening. The prime example last year with the whole tailgating thing, after Joe started that petition, he got to go sit down and talk to the Niners with a face-to-face meeting. And, nothing really got resolved, but it didn't really, I don't think it really affected things in Blue Lot too much. As long as you're a part of the early tailgater stuff, it doesn't really affect you. Who it affects is the directed parking affects everyone else that comes in later, because that's when they start doing it. When they let the early tailgaters in, it's just a free-for-all straight to the parking spots. But when it comes to the normal fans that come later or tailgate later, then they're the ones that get directed, and it's a pain in the ass for.
Dude, if I had control over that'd be my whole thing. You got to make the whole experience like live, you know what I mean? And that was my whole thing. That was my whole thing about just games. But what's cool about what we've done, JD, is if we're not in that line to get in first, wherever we parked at, we're waiting to get into the parking lot. Fuck that. Let's get out. Let's start the music. Let's get it going. And it's, damn, man, I ain't into it. And man, I miss all that stuff, man. I got to get back there.
You need to get out there, man.
I need to get out there, man. Dang. But
let me know. Let me know.
I know. But there ain't a Sunday. I'm trying to tell him, like, man, I should be out there. I should be out there. I should be out there. But yeah, no, we got to do that. We most definitely got to do that again. I miss going to the away games too. I was like picking one every year to go to. Those were fun.
I've still never been to an away game. I need to get to one. I've never been to one.
I keep hearing like, ooh, wait. You know what? Fuck that. Let me see something real fast. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so JD, okay, hear me out. So, just my experience in talking to people, right? Of course, we talked about me going to Seattle. Seattle was cool. we end up like losing that game. That was cool experience. Carolina, that was very fun up until the game. Vet is here. What's up, Iraqi? Vet is in the building.
What up, Vet?
I don't got the other stuff to give the claps, but what's up, my brother?
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. Houston is like probably the most exciting away game I've been to. Houston. That was just something right there when we were still on that last 5-game stretch with Jimmy Garoppolo's appearance, and we just went down there.
Is that the
That's
one
where
when
Billy
you met
was?
Billy?
Yeah, but that whole weekend, dude, was crazy. I mean, we had a white and gold party that night, and like Roger Craig was there, and there's footage online. It's not under my channel. It's under the Niner Empire, I think. It's all on there.
Okay.
But then just the win, and then we all went back to the parking lot after the game, and it was so thick with Niner fans, the police with the horses couldn't get past. It was crazy. It was so exciting. But I say all of that to say New Orleans. I haven't been there, but every time I keep hearing everybody who went, they keep saying that is the best one to go to. And this is a freaking away game this year. And it's like, if you don't, I always think about it like this. This is why I kind of took so long to like, well, I went to Arizona, I went to Seattle, and I wouldn't pick those first because we always go every year. So I always would pick some place where we don't go often, and then maybe the next time we play New Orleans, it's going to be at home. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's right here. So maybe I'll leave that up for discussion when the schedule actually comes out, what date it is, because I heard that away game going to New Orleans is something out of this world. So
I go to New Orleans, I'm going to come home weighing 500 pounds.
And that's where it is too, because they got food, they got drive-through daiquiri places. I'm like, who in the hell? But you're right.
Hey, that's okay. Spots in Texas got drive-through beer stores.
And the thing is, when I went to Houston, I ate good too. That was the best experience, also. But when you experience all of that, it doesn't top it off better than to come out with a win on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was that. But
damn,
New Orleans.
You gave me some shit to think about with that New Orleans.
Yeah, because when I thought about it, and I was like, damn, that's an away game. We play New Orleans, and yeah. So. And when we do that, when I do that, I do try to meet up. Like, of course, I'm Saints Uptown. Where you at? That's when you go and you meet up with people like that. For all those who don't know who we're talking about, that's a New Orleans Saints video maker. Y'all might be like, these new people, who the hell is that? Why are you talking about? Man, this goes far beyond what y'all may think. But that's when you do that, and that's what I've ever done when I went to places. I meet up with people. That's funny though, Yvette, when I went to Texans, it wasn't like I was trying to meet up with I forgot his name, but he made the most entertaining, funniest, angry like crow I've ever seen. You remember 2012?
Oh, you're talking about Steven Rose?
Yes. You know, when he had that goddamn paper bag on his head.
Actually, when he also had a plastic bag over his head too.
You know what? That's gonna be fun. I will tell you what. When I get all of this together and really get in here and be able to add videos. I mean, I'm sure I can do it now, but we're gonna have a night where we kind of just pick certain videos, and this could last forever, but I gotta post that because that crow right there that had me in tears on the ground. And he had so much passion for his team. He was just so annoyed. he was cussing out everybody. He was cussing out the owner. He was cussing out the owner's wife, the owner's stepson. He was going off. That was like the craziest thing. But you know what? In all reality, we feel the same way when we lose a certain way too. I get it. I totally get it. And I think that's why it was so funny also. But yeah, Niner fans, New Orleans away game. Y'all might want to do that because it's packed, and other Niner fans from all over always like gravitate to that location. So it's gonna be thick with red and gold down there. I guarantee it. Even from the Germany chapter, Germany Niner fans. That's crazy. Now it's Paris, Canada, all over. China, Mexico is getting thick. Niners is just something like different. Like we different from everybody else. I don't care. And people might think we're just saying that because we're Niner fans. Nah, that's why they get excited when they beat us.
We're a worldwide brand.
We're a worldwide brand. That's why people get excited when they beat us. And it's like, yeah, it's not just because of That's why we're still thick on YouTube, even though we're not doing the TTC thing. But it is what it is. So, hey, so Vet. So, yeah, I think you said we are making the playoffs as well, right? This year.
Yeah, we should.
With Jake Moody, too?
Look, I mean, look, fuck Moody. Fuck him. I don't care about him. But anyway, if you look at it, we have more, even letting all these people go, we still have more Pro Bowlers combined than every other team in our division.
Yeah. Hey, 49er Tone is in the building.
Oh, I read something today that said Brock Purdy's not the only long-term contract the Niners are trying to get done. They're trying to get Fred done, Kittle done, and they want to give JJ a long-term deal too.
Take care of Fred Warner. Take care of him.
Yeah, but they also want to get Juwan Jennings locked up long-term also.
Juwan, I think this is Juwan Jennings' year, man. Like I said before, I think this is his bust-out year. He gonna carry that along with whoever else stays healthy. But
I mean, he kind of broke out last year. He pretty much had 1,000 yards.
Oh yeah, but it seems like it was like he didn't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying? I think this year it's gonna be about Juwan Jennings, man, because you know
what?
Like you said, it's the less snaps going to Debo. He ain't here no more.
Hey, look though, I'm glad that he wasn't put all over TV and shit like that because Niner fans really know what JJ's all about.
Yeah. That was like Kendrick Bourne's replacement, man. And y'all know, I don't know if everybody agree, but I wanted to keep Kendrick Bourne. This man never got hurt.
I did at the time, but
not Vet, McCarver. You don't remember how I feel about Kendrick Bourne?
No, I remember you was like, no, I remember that.
I don't fuck with Kendrick Bourne. I don't.
But I was like, this guy never gets hurt. And all I kept hearing was when we ready for somebody to come out have a bust out year, motherfucker get hurt. I just like that grit. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. I like the jokes they were saying. You know, this motherfucker can get shot in the alley and still be smiling and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but didn't KB get hurt in New England?
That's the thing, though. Hey, hands off now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hands off. That's part.
I'm like, wait a minute. He blew up his fucking knee or something like that.
Yeah, hands off. But that was the story, though, before he left, you know. And that goes back to what me and I was talking about JD about, is like that was one player that the Niners finally got that wasn't getting hurt all the goddamn time. I don't even think he had a history of getting hurt, but they tend to cross their fingers, take the risk on somebody who has great numbers when they're on the field, but they also have a history of getting hurt. So I was saying I would hope with us trying to go young now and trying to do things differently, let's go that route. Let's try to get players that actually don't get hurt. And I do like what JD was saying too. Let's get some size at certain positions because we haven't been doing that lately. That's why the injuries been coming. You know what I mean? We're trying to get speed and stuff like that. But yeah, got to make it work. Hey, Tone, we making the playoffs with Jake Moody?
Yeah, I still can't believe he's still even have a job right now.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like with our schedule, and yeah, I think we're gonna make the playoffs. Now, will we win the division? I'm not sure. We'll see how the draft goes, and then training camp and all that. But yeah, I would say I could see us as a wild card. Yeah, with our schedule.
Yeah. So you said wild card, and like my thing is, I want to get in that damn thing, beating the division. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I want to beat the midget. I want to do all that. But again, I know we got to stay healthy though. We got to stay healthy to do that. But also with the schedule, we should be able to make it to the playoffs. Yeah. But I want to beat the division, but that's yet to be, seen.
Well, I think we'll have a shot at the division. I don't think the Rams are so much better than us.
They're not. They never are. That's what. Ooh.
They're not. But as far as with the losses that we've had in this type of turnover that we're having this offseason, it's kind of iffy. But I do feel like we do have the talent still to make some kind of run. And with our schedule, there's just a lot of winnable games. Just across the board throughout the whole schedule. I mean, this is probably one of the easiest schedules that I could honestly remember. Even when we had those 2-14 years and we had a last place schedule the next year. Now this one seems like it's going to be super easy. So we can still win the division. I'm reserving it until after the draft and all that. I'll give the Rams their respect on them until we see what we do the rest of the offseason.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna take it a step further with this making the playoffs thing. They better make the playoffs because you're going to be signing Brock Purdy to like a $250 million deal, paying him $50-60 million a year. We better make the goddamn playoffs. Brock better be worth that damn money. And I'm not the biggest Brock guy. I like Brock. I don't love Brock. But if you're going to pay him that money, there's no excuses. You have to win, especially with this schedule. You have to win.
It's crazy too. I think to me, I don't know how it is to everybody else, but even though we know Brock's agent is the one. Agent speaks for the athletes, and he's the one saying he deserves this, he deserves that. Brock, even though Brock may want that money too, we don't. You know what I'm saying? Brock just doesn't seem like the type of person, and I could be wrong, but he just doesn't seem like the type of person to get that much money and then just get relaxed. I think he still would want to prove himself. That's just my opinion, how I see him. But hopefully that's how it goes. Real quick,
hey, you know how I know Brock is going to get paid because Colton McKivitz is still on this fucking team and they got the same agent.
Now,
right.
Now, let me ask y'all a quick question though. Since JD's point in, they better make the playoffs, and I definitely agree with them on that. If we happen to not make the playoffs, what's going on with Lynch and Shanahan?
I was gonna ask that.
Or what?
Nope. I'd say if we don't make the playoffs with the weakest schedule in the league, fire both of them. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was that. Yeah, I felt like that after not knowing the overtime rules in the Super Bowl. But yeah,
they will fire one of them before they fire both of them.
They gotta fire both.
and they're gonna fire Lynch first. That's what'll happen.
Let me put this comment back up. Real quick to Tone and Vet. I don't know if you guys listened when I was talking to JD about, y'all remember when I tried to call Mr. Frisco last week, FaceTime? So he texted me the next morning, right? He said, "What up, C-Mac? My bad. I missed your call. You know your boy was at that damn bar." LOL.
I told you he was drunk as shit.
But I told him I
already knew what he was doing.
Right, but I talked to him and I told him about what we discussed about the first away game, meeting up and stuff. He said he gonna check it in his calendar like soon as that schedule come out. So that's all. That's a plan right there. And then also to who is watching this or watching later, if y'all don't know by now, y'all probably don't. It's not y'all fault. These are all Niner fans here. These are Niner fans that have been here for a while on YouTube. Don't look at my boy 49er Tone and say that's a Raider fan because he got the Oakland stuff on. He's been an Oakland A's fan all his life, but he's a Niner fan. So I don't want to hear that.
No. Hey, McCarver, you got it. You got to correct it. That's the Sacramento A's. Don't disrespect.
Oh, he clowning now. No. Because it's funny. It's funny. Oakland Raider fans, right? I don't even know now, but that's why I said that's how I shut them down now. I'm like, man, y'all not even out here no more. Y'all in Vegas. Yeah. No, my heart still say Oakland, but they don't play out here no more. Yeah. But I get it. Even my father's like, they don't want to wear no Vegas stuff. They want to wear Oakland Raider stuff. I get it.
Why not? It's all still silver and black.
Yeah, but I get it. He ain't gonna wear no Tone. You ain't gonna wear no Las Vegas A's hat when they get out there.
Nah, they're lucky. I'm wearing this right now because how I feel. But I will say it's a process. I was watching some of the game tonight. It's a process. I don't know really how to feel, man. I don't. But it's as far as wifey goes, because she's a Raider fan. She don't wear nothing Las Vegas. She don't wear anything that says Las Vegas. So I don't know if I'm gonna be like that. But
Tone, I know it's been a few years now, but thank you for Matt Olson. I gotta tell every Ace fan I come across that. Thank you for Matt Olson.
Yeah, well, you can thank the owner for that one. Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is that's the year I gave up my season tickets for the A's.
Yeah,
just because when we got rid of Olsen, the owner had the fucking nerves to tell everybody to renew for their season tickets. They check this out. They upped my price. I had a 24 game pack for 2 tickets, and it was $400. They literally upped that same 24 pack to $1,600, which is more than my Niner season tickets. And they were giving out replica Matt Olson jerseys if you signed up early, and he was already gone.
You know what, man? This is my
true story.
That's because they already bought him, and he's cheap as fuck, and didn't want to spend any more money.
My point, I was telling JD about the owners. They really need to take care of the people, the people that were season ticket holders at Candlestick. They should have took care of them at Levi's. That's what they should have did.
Yeah,
but they didn't. They just want to get that money at the top. They're not worried about how these people feel, man.
No.
Yeah. So,
Tone, are you still what's going on with your Niner tickets today? What happened?
I'm still working that out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna renew, keep them this year. But I talked to the rep earlier this week, and he's still supposed to get back to me. He hasn't got back to me yet.
They're being hella flexible right now.
Reps over there. That's my problem. They switch reps, and then they don't know about the conversations that go on with the last rep.
Yep.
So I'm not sure. I'm hoping to keep my season tickets, but if not, then I would just pick a game or two to go to.
They'll probably let you keep them, dog, because they're being so flexible right now with people and their tickets. Like you were saying, like.
That tells me a lot of people's not renewing like they thought they were, and plus with all the bad press that they're getting. I don't know. We'll see. He said he was gonna contact me and look into it. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated though.
And they got the relocation coming up in like less than 2 weeks, and I don't even know if anything's available. They're not letting you look at the inventory beforehand anymore.
Oh, wow. Well, the last 2 years has been horrible with the seat selection. There hasn't been anything. So,
and my date's on April 10th.
April 10th.
That damn Yahoo. It's funny. I've always been eyeing the Yahoo Lounge.
Yeah.
The Yahoo section. I don't know. I fell in love with that section because of the chef that's in there and everything else and the food and stuff. And I always say like one day I'm gonna do it, but it's like it's just ridiculous now, man, how much things are. When I first saw it, it was like reasonable. Now things are just too fucking high.
And it's gonna keep going up.
Yeah, it's gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know.
Hey, so
that's why I look.
Are any of y'all buying this year's ugly ass draft hats with the foghorn pin?
I never do. They're always terrible.
I haven't seen it
every fucking year.
I haven't bought. I don't even own a draft hat, but I think one year I really wanted one. I just didn't get it. But they haven't looked cool since like a long time to me.
The 90s.
They never look good. The draft hats.
I do like that hat JD got on though. I was gonna ask him because I like that. That is a cool hat right there. Oh shit, yeah, I like that motherfucker right there. Yeah, that motherfucker, I like that.
That's clean.
And then even Tone's hat, I know it's an A's hat, but it's like, you know what I mean? Just how they got it formatted.
Yeah, Oakland, and it has the map of where the Oakland Coliseum is.
That's dope. Yeah, people don't pay attention. I saw all that, man. That's
I wore this one last week on your stream.
Okay.
Hella faithful.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And then I showed Tone this one, but I made this one, my channel logo.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And it's a trucker, right? Yep.
Yeah, it's a trucker snap.
Yeah. Okay, so we should make the playoffs. We in the playoffs. So now there's other teams that we're not playing that's in the playoffs. What are we supposed to do then?
Well, I think it depends. Obviously it depends what we do. We do got to replenish through the draft, get some young talent in. See if we can get someone to help Bosa out, Warner out. One thing about going into this year is that I am very confident that our defense is going to be pretty damn good. Now we have the coaching staff. We got our guy back in Salah. The last year's draft, we hit on that secondary like no other. Mustafa, Green, and these are key pieces. Then you got Lenore as our number one. Our defense is good. Even in what was Shanahan's first year? 2017? Was it 2017? 2018.
18.
Before 2019, right? Both of those years, our defenses were really good, and you can see them keep building and building and building. I mean, shit, that 2017 year, we started 0-9, 0-10, but how many losses were like 3 points, by 3 points that year, right? So Salah has way more talent now with his defense and more creative and building on his philosophy. I think our defense wins championships. As long as our defense is going to do well this year, we can win some damn games. And, we'll see how Shanahan and Brock do this year. Hopefully Brock has a better year. But It's like my dad always says. You don't want to see the 49ers in January. You know what I mean?
That's a true fact. Somebody need to make a shirt that says that, because that's true.
And I also think the fact that we have the architect, the person who created this defense, Gus Bradley, on our coaching staff is going to help too.
Great point. Yep.
And you know what? Hands down, that's a good point, Tone, because again, like what I said before, the reason why I picked this topic for this week, because these are conversations that I've had this week with other Niner fans, my father-in-law, and then my coworker. Are we going to make the playoffs? We're going to make the playoffs. My father-in-law was like, yeah, we should damn sure make the playoffs because we ain't lose everybody. We still got key people. We just got to work around them. But nobody, even online, nobody has made that point about the defense and Robert Saleh. That's why we gonna make the playoffs right there. Yeah. And then everything else, of course, that's the bread and butter. But I'm excited to see that. That's something that Niner fans, we should all be excited for. I think we kind of, not us, you know what I'm saying, but the conversations that's coming out. Grant Cohn and his topics and other people making videos. We're talking about Brandon Ayuk and are we going to pay him? Are we going to pay this? But nobody's talking about Robert Saleh is here. You know what I mean? We're losing this player. We're losing that player. But Robert Saleh is here. And we still got – yeah.
And watch this year. All four of us and all the Niner fans that's watching, watch. Just remember I said this. When it comes in, starting in September, when the season starts, you're going to notice something that we haven't had in going on 3 years. Is frustration with the defense. All of a sudden, we're going to be like, put the defense on the field. Oh, defer the kickoff. Let our defense set the tone. Just watch. We haven't had that since D'Amico. You haven't had that since D'Amico. So watch. Yeah, I can't wait.
Right. Wouldn't it be like 4 times special though if Greenlaw was here? But we still be all right though. I know. Hey, JD,
I'm never gonna get over the Greenlaw one, man. That's gonna hurt.
I know. Shit, but gotta move on. Shit, fuck it. Damn.
I was always more of a Greenlaw guy than a Warner guy anyway, and I love Fred Warner and I understand his importance, but Greenlaw was always my dude. So it's
like Fred Warner has the energy and he has the drive. It's like when the play is going, this is a good analogy towards like basketball, like what I try to tell my son, right? When people shoot that shot, they shoot the ball. Everybody else is sitting there looking at the ball bounce off the rim and watch it halfway come down. Then they want to jump. Nobody's anticipating the rebound at his age, right? I say that to say that with Fred Warner, when the play is 5 seconds, right? Then the quarterback finally throwing the ball. And then after he probably has to divert to something else or open play after the play was dead. He had to do something. Fred Warner is still on his toes, running full speed until that whistle blows. But Greenlaw, he just got it, man. And that's what made them two special right there. That's what made them. You have to play to that whistle blow
in the big moments, and that's what made Greenlaw special. Is he was the clutch guy. He was the guy that came up to play when they needed it. And Fred Warner was actually doing that this year. The first 4 weeks of the year, when he was forcing fumbles every week and getting interceptions and all that, me and Tone were talking about it. I'd never seen anything like that. What Fred Warner was doing to start the year before he got hurt. Then he got hurt, and it just screwed up the rest of his year. But he was doing some special things this season before he got hurt. But that's what made Greenlaw special, is that he came up with big plays and big moments, and that's what they're going to miss.
Also, you see this man trying to knock the damn ball out, even when he don't. You see him swinging. I like that. My bad. Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you feel I mean, we all feel the same way about Greenlaw leaving, but do y'all feel, is this the same? Is this better? Not better, but is this like, do you feel worse with Greenlaw leaving than you did when Bowman left?
No, I felt worse when Bowman left.
I think so too. Just because of that championship game in Seattle, that's kind of, to me, that hurt a little bit more.
That was fuck.
I feel worse. I feel worse Greenlaw leaving than Bowman because of the fact that when Bowman left, he was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Greenlaw.
I mean, honestly, though, nobody really knows what Greenlaw's going to look like until he gets on that field after an Achilles.
Hey, Tone, you hit, man, I swear you hit home with that one because that was really fucked up. The way he went out, and then they didn't even they saw the shit. Then they gave Seattle the ball. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
You know,
I still don't know how they got the ball.
Oh my God. But here's the thing. The reason why you did say that. So, damn, that's a good comparison, though. That's a good
because they both went out with injuries.
If
And they were both
Greenlaw would have stayed healthy in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
But then, if Bowman would have stayed throughout that game,
we win the Super Bowl if Bowman's on the field.
I think that year against Seattle,
not Bowman.
It would have just hit home more. You know what I'm saying? With him staying healthy in the game.
The Broncos. Oh, we would have smoked the Broncos.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we would have smoked Denver too.
But the
year we lost, the year we lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship, I think we would have smoked the goddamn Patriots.
Hey, I was cleaning my closet out, and I found this fucking shirt. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go grab it and show y'all, but I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just, of course, the Patriots, they had Tom Brady, right? The only thing I worried about that too, because that was the best 49er defense I've seen in my lifetime. Now, I wasn't, I was born in '88, so I missed all the '80s. But that Patriots team, you got Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden we had, I think Crabtree was our only receiver, Vernon. We had Brett Swain. Joshua Morgan got hurt earlier in the year. Ted Ginn was out. I don't know if he would have been back by the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, but I just feel like something about Harbaugh at that time. I don't know if I'm more confident of smoking the Broncos than beating the Patriots, even though I feel like our defense would have suffocated Brady for most of the game.
Man, yeah, I was cleaning this goddamn closet the other day. Found this shit right here.
Burn that shit.
Man, throw that shit in the garbage. Send that to Africa to some starving child.
I never even wore it. I bought it and it's still like I never even put this shit on. This shit was under. Yeah.
Oh man.
That was a year.
Yeah. Were you at that game? Were you at the game?
Yeah, I was at that game. I got footage on my channel, like one of my early videos. I referred back. The first year I started doing TTC was the year after that. So we played the Giants that first year, and I talked about it a little bit. But yeah, that was no. So look, I said this over and over, but that was a Super Bowl win right there. And then the year with we go to Baltimore. Was that the one you were talking about? Vet. We should have gave it to Frank Gore instead of throwing the goddamn ball 3 times.
Yeah, you don't throw to Crabtree. Don't be tempting people with a sorry ass receiver.
And then the year after that, against Seattle NFC Championship, you're trying to throw it to Crabtree. You're trying to get it on Richard Sherman, and you ain't been throwing his way the whole game. So that's 3 potential ones right there. And then you fast forward to when we get to the Super Bowl with Shanahan against the Chiefs, and you stop running the ball. We could have won that. Then we get to the Super. Man, that could have been another 5, as far as I'm concerned.
Every one of those heartbreaking moments could have been flipped very easily. And that's what makes
against
it
the
hurt so
Rams.
much.
NFC
That's what makes it hurt so
Championship.
much.
Jaquaski Tart. I noticed. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's just right there, man. It just fucking sucks, man. But we got to get, if we going to have Shanahan here and Lynch, they got to do something before they exit to take us this close and not to do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. You going to be here, do something. Do something. Y'all talk a good game, do something. I don't know what y'all going to do. It's up to y'all. The Yorks is like, look, figure it out. We got soccer teams to think about now. Shit, flip it around.
Yep.
Make people.
Nah. I just want to see what they do in the draft.
Yeah. You know what? This sound fucked up, but no, we got to pick the right pick. We got to get the right pick, that first pick. But I'm telling you, if we do something like a kicker on the first round, I gotta be there for Vet's video. That's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna last about 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
But why isn't Moody receiving unemployment checks yet? Like, I'm not understanding.
You know, when stuff happens like that, I think out the box and be like, man, Jake Moody must have an auntie that used to date Shanahan's dad in high school or something. That's how I'd be thinking. I'd be like, because there's something wrong with this right here. I mean, damn.
Well, it's like I was telling you, McCarver, what I think's going to happen, we're going to see the same old Jake Moody going into the season. He's going to miss some kicks, and he'll either miss like a big kick at the end of a game,
right here.
or he'll miss multiple kicks at some point in a game early in the year, and then the backlash from that is just going to get too loud to ignore, because it's already too loud to ignore. But if we see it again, it's going to get to a point where they have to address it. They have to do something, and I feel like they're going to end up cutting Moody, or maybe a quarter of the way, midway through the season, because Moody's going to do something stupid, and I think they won't be able to ignore it anymore.
But why would you even wait that long? I mean,
shit, well,
you know why? Because that's what we do. That's what they do every damn time.
Because what they're doing with Moody is they're using that injury as an excuse to say that's why he did what he did and was missing all them kicks, was because of that injury.
We've seen it all in his face.
He was horrible his rookie year. And I don't give a fuck how many field goals he made in his rookie year. He was the eye test. He was barely making those. Like, I know. Give me that shit.
I know, but that's how they're thinking now. That's why they're sticking with him.
See, how fast did Shanahan cut some of these third round running backs when they didn't pan out? I mean, shit, just wash your hands. Hey, we messed up. He's a bust, and move on, man.
I think the difference here is that Moody wasn't a Shanahan pick. Moody was a front office pick, because Shanahan, after they made the pick and they did their press conference after the draft pick, they walked into the press room and Shanahan goes, "I wanted a running back." And so I feel like the Moody pick was a front office thing, maybe Lynch, maybe the scouts, maybe some of the personnel guys that they have high up. There's some sort of a reason that they're not cutting Moody, because all the personnel guys are so just firmly like, okay, we have to make this work with Moody. We have to make this work with Moody. Whereas if it was a Shanahan guy, he would have been cut already.
Bro, Tennessee just released their kicker, and he's got like the highest field goal percentage the last 2 years. Go sign him.
Right.
The kickers we brought in last year when Moody was hurt were fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That guy, whoever that guy was, but then they let him go right when Moody was. I'm like, does he have naked pictures of somebody's woman or something? I don't get it. That's what I'd be going through my head, because I'd be like, it doesn't make sense, you know?
How are you going to cut Tabor Pepper, but you're not going to cut Moody? Make that make sense.
Right. I don't.
Yeah, you cut everybody except the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's why, like I said, I know they listen to what people are talking about. It's just they have a whole different agenda when it comes to certain stuff. I don't know how you can go this long being the 49ers, being before Harbaugh got here, we were 5-0 going to the Super Bowl. And it has to be instilled in you to keep that going. Even like, Steve told Kaepernick, say, hey, we got a reputation. We're 5-0. And then, that's when I was just like, oh, fuck. Come on, y'all.
Eddie DeBartolo was 5-0. Jed York's 0-3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eddie D wouldn't accept none of this bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. Is he still around? He just, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just
all Jed York cares about. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie D just chilling in Florida right now, thinking about buying the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
He must be living his best life, though.
He is.
And
he deserves
it. He'd have been there, done that.
Hey, he deserves it, though.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I know a lot of people don't like Grant because he does a lot of negative stuff for clicks and whatever. It works for him, but one thing I will agree with Grant on 1,000,000%. We're talking all about these financial constraints, and we're not spending any money to make this team better, and we're raising season ticket prices, and we're doing all this stuff money-wise, right? Why the hell is Jed York posting pictures on social media of him out at a nice dinner? You know how tone deaf that is, and how fucking careless that is? Like,
not just that, didn't I just read they're about to dump $250 million into Levi's?
They're doing that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working there. Yeah. I'm actually working there. I'm thinking about maybe doing a video next week when I'm in Levi's while I'm at work.
I don't know, man. They just it's just not. We have to get over the fact that it's just things that are just not the same. But what really messes with us, I think, decisions are common sense, and it's like, do they really have it? I like the fact that Grant Cohn is not an actual fan, but he's doing his homework and he's digging in to detail. I like that. I like to hear that.
He's just like his dad. He's just
it
like
gives
his
a different
dad.
perspective.
His dad was the same way. It's just his dad didn't have a YouTube back then. It was all articles.
Yeah. I find it funny with people like. I'm not saying I find Rombo funny, but I find it funny that Rombo. Funny thing with Rombo is Rombo has his own perspective about things, so he says a lot of things that people don't agree with, and I like hearing different people's opinions. It's never going to be the same, but I laugh when people just get so mad because I'm like, you can't expect people to think like you. I'm sorry, you can't. That's just the way it goes. Everybody's not going to agree to the same thing, but everybody has the same common goal. We all want to win. We want that fucking championship ring. I want to drink this fucking gold bar up here that's been sitting for a while. I want to open that shit. People might have cracked it open. I've seen it. Me and JD, I'm not at tailgates. They have that all day, but I'm like, I'm not opening mine until we win a fucking Super Bowl.
I'm gonna show you something.
I never had that, but I heard it had. I heard it's not that good. That whiskey.
No, it's not. It's not. But it's a symbol. It just symbolizes what's going. That means. And look, let me break it all the way down. That means it's probably gonna be shit. I've had it before. It's just not the one I have here. You know what I mean? I've had it before. So it means it's gonna be shit. I'm not gonna feel good the next day. But I'm going to get fucked up off of it when we win.
I got this one that I've had since 2019, and I haven't cracked it. And
that tastes good. We got 3 of those above the refrigerator. And the same thing. Even 2, there's a black bottles, it's black 49er bottles. I told wifey, I said, we're not opening that at all right now until things look bright.
Yeah.
But it's just a symbol. It's not like it just tastes good, you know.
Yeah.
But I said I'm
No,
cracking
I
that
got you.
motherfucker over because I'm not going to work that Monday. Nope.
No.
I'm gonna be fucked. I'm gonna be on here. We gonna be on here. We gonna do something. If everybody's down, we gonna do something that nobody's ever done before. We gonna be on this shit all night till the sun come up, if we can.
Hey, hold on. I'll be right back, bro.
Yeah. Hey, JD, how it sound? Still sound muffled and shit?
No, you're good. You're good now.
I mean, no, maybe because I'm screaming through this shit too, huh?
Well, I don't. You've been good for a while, actually. I now that you mention it, you've been good for a while.
Maybe because I switched it at 2.4. Because my laptop, it will randomly pick which one. It's funny. The 5G is the fastest, but the range isn't as good as the 2.4. You know, and I switched to the 2.4. I got more range. My son is still right here on the couch on his tablet. You know, but
where's your router? Is it in your living room?
Oh yeah, it is, but it's right in the middle. This house isn't designed good for a router because, as you know, downstairs that's where the router is. But then you come up the stairs. I'm in the niner room. The only access you got is coming up the stairs. Everything else is blocked off. But like I said, next week I'm gonna have it because right behind this TV right here in the niner room, I got hard lines, and I need to just grab a wire and hook up to it. So I'll be good next week. But I think just last week, nobody was on the internet but me.
That's probably a lot of it.
That's what it is. So
yep.
JD. When YouTube, you know what? I want to save these questions. I really want to make a full-blown video about the TTC guys that were on here before, because I think the level of respect changed. Kind of like even when we got on here, because it was all about football when you guys got on, and then when it got on us, I mean, I saw it for what it was. I'm like, you're going to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way. And then people just got into people's families. I was going to ask you a question about that. We kind of talked about it last week.
There was some of that back in the day too. It wasn't as bad, but that stuff had always been around.
Yeah, we're going to save that for a whole nother, we're going to really do that the right way and have everybody on here that really you know, it just, when I do look at these videos now, people are just giving the news and talking about it, but it's just, people just don't know. But a lot of these people also, hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Sorry. This is hella rude. Hello? Hey, what's up? No, nothing really. It was just in the moment. It was just there. Yeah, because it was just that's why I said that. So yeah, but I'm on live right now. You on your way? Okay, can't wait to see it. Okay. Okay. Something just popped in my head when you said that. I'm thinking something else. All right. Love you, bye. Oh no, wifey had a all girls night or something, and she on the way home. Anyway,
who the hell is the number 2 receiver in Seattle?
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, I forget they signed him. See, that's how irrelevant that little white fucker is.
But that goes back to what I was saying about there's no reason why we should lose, but stupidity we be sitting here after a game watching shit like that, and they go, you know,
It ain't gonna happen this year.
they better not. They better
No,
not.
we gonna get back. We gonna get back to busting their motherfucking head open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause that was kind of hard. That was hard. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say hard. It was just irritating, man. Just have them goddamn Seahawks do that shit, and then they not for that stretch,
and
man.
then
That was annoying.
and then so it sounded like the Rams may only have Puka Nacua for maybe only 5 more years because he said he wants to retire by 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's already 24, going on 25, I think.
I think he's 23, turning 24 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said by the age of 30 he wants to be retired.
Yeah.
But a lot of athletes say that though in all sports. So that's that could just be all talk too.
Something came to me a few minutes ago.
It could be, or when Nacua got hurt last year, something might have scared him a little bit. Like, I do this too much more, I can end up having my career cut short.
But imagine what his contract's going to look like when he's 28, 30.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he won't retire at 30. He might, but he might have, in the words of T.O., several million reasons not to.
True. True.
Yeah. This is what I was gonna ask y'all, and because I kind of I touched on this last week too before everybody hopped on, but I want to know everybody's opinion because I will have this man on here so we can ask him, but I just want everybody's opinion because just off of everybody's answers, he gonna want to get on here and say hell no. But yes. 2012 Kaepernick playoffs running on Green Bay. Just they didn't know what to do. Desmond Bishop was hurt. He told me personally because I asked him. He said if my ass was on the field, that wouldn't have happened at all.
Yeah, what
I said hell nah. What do y'all think about? Do y'all think that would have happened?
Yes, it would have happened.
He sounded like
I said you would have had to sit back and think about it because he was a smart linebacker. I give him that. He was.
I don't care how smart of a linebacker he was. That shit was going to happen.
But you would have took time to think about that too.
But he sounded like every other middle-aged dad saying, "Oh man, I would have played in the pros if I wouldn't have got hurt in high school," or. That's what he sounded like.
Clay
to me. And I'm not discrediting him.
Clay Matthews was like stuck. He didn't know what to do.
Right.
He was like, no, that wouldn't happen if I was on the field. I'm like, I don't know about that one, dude. I don't know. But one night I will have him on here. We're gonna talk about that because that's gonna be funny because he's so like hell no, that wouldn't have happened. And he's a competitive. He's a real competitive person because he coaches now. He even coaches basketball, and he trains my son sometimes too, like with athletics and stuff. It's cool, but he's so competitive and he's so like hell no, that ain't gonna happen on my watch. And I get it. You gotta have that mentality, but I think that specific game, I was like, I don't think. Even if you would have figured it out, it would have been too late. That's what I said. That's what I said. It would have been too late. You ain't that. Nah. He was like, nah, that would. I was like, whatever, dude. Whatever. That was such a walk in the park, that game. That's gonna be a fun night because we're gonna get that together. That's gonna be funny as hell. But I just
now I was kind of hoping Seattle would sign Aaron Rodgers so that we could bust Aaron Rodgers' ass twice a year.
Yeah. I think I read something about Aaron Rodgers not even like he's playing the game of like he's talking about doing some vacation things before he even think about signing with somebody or something.
I thought he was pretty close to signing with Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I talked to some Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and it annoys them to ask them, "Oh, y'all got DK Metcalf," and then they be like, "Well, we ain't got nobody for him to throw it to him." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." You know. What about Vet? What about Man, I'm sorry, man. It's been a while. What is the Steelers fans that used to get on here too? Not on here. Yeah, McMahon was. You ever talk to McMahon?
He's still around. Yeah, I talk to him every now and again. I'll see him over on Billy's stuff every now and then. But hey, I think Pittsburgh fucked up trading for DK or getting DK because now you got two fucking head cases in the same goddamn locker room. Him and George Pickens are fucking straight head cases.
Yeah, and you know that Mike Tomlin, right? Mike Tomlin. I always say he looked like the dude off of what is that group called? Hold on, I'm getting blanks.
I think everybody else calls him Omar Epps.
Omar Epps, yeah.
Omar Epps. Yeah, he do look like Omar Epps. He do look like Omar Epps. Damn. Hold on, man. I'm tripping. Well, I always said this. Oh, yeah. No. Mike Tomlin looked like the dude off the Black Eyed Peas, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think about him. He do look just like dude. Yep. But
he's got a little Bernie Mac to him, too. A little bit.
He got all of that. Pittsburgh, when are they gonna get? I don't want to talk about Pittsburgh. I was just gonna say when they gonna get rid of that coach. They just tend to hang on.
Well, I mean, when is he ever gonna have a losing season?
Or is Baltimore ever gonna get rid of John Harbaugh?
No.
Another team that's good year in, year out. You know.
Yeah. Like I said,
Will Lamar Jackson leave? You know.
No, he making too much money right now.
They just gave him an extension.
Man, I'll be like that. So they kind of got the same kind of like feeling as far as they feel like they close enough, they good enough, but they just can't get it. But we actually get to the Super Bowl and don't get it. So we're better.
But the issue is, and it's the same issue that the Niners have. If you fire him, who are you going to hire that's better?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
There ain't no coach on the market.
Right. You gotta have that. Niner fans. We got a few people in here. Are we still making the playoffs? That's still the answer. We all answered it already. I want to know, are we still making the playoffs? No, I know we know. We got the answer. I want to know what people are thinking. Because some people are like, yeah, that's all. I'm just continuing to put it out there. Are we still making the playoffs? You know, we bet. Okay. Hey, Vet. Worse situation. We don't know, but worst case scenario, what if we don't make that motherfucker? What happens?
I've already said it. We fire both John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Get them the fuck out of here. I don't care who we get to replace them. Get them the fuck out of here. Their time's done.
Hey, didn't you also say, or somebody else said, I could have sworn you said it, though, they probably going to fire one of them and keep the other one?
No, they better fire both.
No, they better. But I think they would fire John Lynch and try to keep Shanahan.
Yes, John Lynch will get thrown under the bus first.
That's what I think. Yeah.
John will get fired first. And I think that even if they have a down year this year, I don't think anybody's getting fired. I think they're going to give them another year. Then they would fire John Lynch.
Fuck.
If another bad year after this year, then they'd fire somebody.
And you know what, Jim keep the he gets to keep popping up in a he hasn't done it, but I'm just saying you could see Jim Harbaugh popping up in a beer commercial, and the last quote is, "You would reap what you sow," and then it turns off, and he's talking to Jed York, you know. I mean, it's true, but we got to get over this shit. We've been too close too many goddamn times.
Yeah,
and
I'm getting irritated
watching the whole footage of the 2019 going to Miami and them getting off the plane and how clean the fucking sweaters and jerseys are, and I was like, I want one so bad, but I am not buying one until we fucking win this.
Win.
Yeah, I did that. I think that was the cleanest since the last few Super Bowls.
That all white? Was it?
Yeah, that shit was clean. I was like, I want it all. But people were smart. They bought them right away, sold them on YouTube. But I mean, not YouTube, eBay. And I was like, I'll buy fucking one, but we got to win that shit first. I'm not wearing that shit if we don't win. And there's, but yeah, I know, but it's just so annoying. Niners, if y'all fucking listening, get y'all shit together and win the fucking Super Bowl. Fuck.
Speaking of 2019 and them getting off a plane, you guys remember this?
Oh, that's a throwback, man.
No, these came out in 2019.
Well, I'm saying the style. That's
right.
That's the old.
It was Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne, and Debo. They all were wearing matching ones of these, and they had their names on them. This one doesn't have the name on it, but it's the same jacket. I still gotta
get that. That's fire.
I've only seen one of these in public, in anywhere, going to games and all. I've only seen one of these before, and I saw this on Facebook Marketplace a couple months ago, and I went down to Levi's just to get this from the guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to search far and wide because I need something like that.
And that JD, that contributes to what I'm saying here. It's like when you see these players have that on, they mean business, and it just makes us feel even better to have that, to see that they're taking this serious and they go all the way and win that shit. But when stuff like that does happen, but the end result is not what we want, it's just fucked up. But yeah, that's a clean motherfucker. That's clean.
Yeah, that was a clean ass starter jacket.
I said, I went all the way down to Levi's. You know, I take the train to go down there just because I hate Bay Area traffic. So I took a 3-hour train ride just to go down to Levi's on a random Saturday just to get that. I had to have it. Yeah. I had to have it.
That's yeah. You a fan? You a real fucking fan?
Yep.
Boy, anybody that's going to jump on the train for a 3-hour train ride on just a random ass Saturday to go get one piece of Niner gear, yeah, you about it.
Yep.
Did any of you guys? I know JD has. I know, but did you guys ever peep when I was going live with the shots and stuff? And
you mean when you were sleeping on stream?
That's why I said I know you do. But people, it's funny. People really love that shit, and it's like I'm not trying to like push that under nine. But it's me though. I mean, not me anymore, but that was me being me. Fuck it, you know. But if that's what people want to see, that's fine. But we got to be Niner fans here. We got to really like. I think that we really need to put something together. Y'all still got y'all videos on y'all channel, right? Like from
mine are private.
We gonna do some shit where we presenting that shit. Y'all do it. Y'all, I don't know, but I would like to just show everybody. Obviously, what happens. Y'all know. I ain't gotta explain it to y'all, but I can explain this to a lot of people. that the followers that I have, right? I do have a nice number of them, but they get so pissed off when I don't come on here for a long time. But what happens is you get back on here consistently, and then they get the alerts, and then the awareness comes on and stuff like that. So I would rather wait until more people are watching, but I would like to do like maybe on Fridays. Yeah, obviously when the season starts and then there's a bye week, or just save it to when the off season is there. We got to explain this was week 2. I'm talking about what was it, 08 or 09 when you guys got on here?
2009.
09. We got to have certain videos or just throwbacks when we're playing that same team and just really put it out there and say, look, y'all don't know the history of this. Take a step back and listen. What were you doing in 09?
I still remember the first day the first video I put out, the first time I ever did it. It was the day after the Steelers and Cardinals Super Bowl. The next day I put out my first video on YouTube.
God damn. That was a minute ago. Woo.
Yeah.
So mine was it was against, I believe, the Broncos preseason in 2009, and it was all because I was watching JD and I was watching Frisco Fitted, and it was especially him because he was just talking about the night. He would be sitting in his room just talking about the Niners, and I remember watching a bunch of his videos. It's like, dude, I have a webcam, I can do that. Like, and so I just started recording. I was back then. I was talking about the preseason, what third string players to look for and all that. So 2009.
I mean, when Frisco Fitted TV first made his videos, Mike Nolan was still the head coach.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
So, and that's how long I've been watching. I've been watching since then.
Yeah, I remember. I believe he made a video when we lost to the Giants in New York after, and then Nolan got fired. I still remember that game though, because Nate Clements returned the block kick for a touchdown. I was watching that with my uncle. May he rest in peace. But I remember I was thinking, oh man, we can beat the Giants.
You're too good. No.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. I think that's what we really have to get back to. And it's not us four. I'm talking about overall because we're already a strong fan base. But just to show people, and then what's funny is you get to see people in the comment section. Oh, I remember this game in 09 and it's like, yes, it's cool. It's cool to see that kind of stuff, man. Because
you know what, McCarver? It's like I was saying last week, though. It's like even during the Harbaugh years, I slowed down. During the Shanahan years, I definitely slowed down. Like the first 2 Shanahan years, I was making videos consistently, but after 2019, I just feel like, because I never looked at it like I'm some kind of like a journalist or reporter covering the team. I never looked at it like I always used to just tell people, just press record and talk, bro. Like I just like talking about my team, and I feel for me personally, it's better for me to vent and talk about the team when we suck, when we're bad. When we're good, I mean, there's stuff to talk about, but I'm not here to break down. I don't work at ESPN. I don't work at KNBR. Like I'm just here to vent as a fan, and I feel like I make a lot more videos. Like I feel compelled to make a lot more videos, when we suck. That's why I started making videos this past year.
But that's what KNBR and ESPN needs, is people like you to really.
And 95.7.
Yeah, and 95.7. They need people like that to really say, nah, fuck that. No, he can go. Or fuck that. We need to
get
say,
him the fuck up out of here.
They paid him too much money. People tend to get on here and say what people think people want to hear. And it's like, no. It's not enough people saying that, so they just like, fuck it. That's why that goes back to Grant Cohn. Grant Cohn just going to say like he see it. May not be right all the time, but he just gonna say how he see it. He's not a biased person, you know. That's what I like about it, you know. Now, like Rombo,
no, he
right?
might not be biased.
Huh?
Granco might not be biased and says what he wants, but there is a lot of times that motherfucker will just pop out with shit just for clickbait, and it gets annoying as shit.
And that's what I also said. That's what I was saying. People are doing that. People just do that anyway, you know. But then you got people on the other hand are just, you said clickbait, but people are going on here just going along with what people want to hear also, you know. You guys always going, from y'all perspective, and it's always going to be 100 as far as I'm concerned. And it's not because I've been knowing y'all for a while, but actually it makes sense when you listen to it. I mean, I'm sitting on here tonight and then talking to JD, and he's talking about, he mentioned something that nobody's talking about. Like, when did we fall off? It was Shanahan, obviously. When did we fell off with trying to get the position player? You want the size. You want the everything. It seemed like it just, Shanahan wants quickness. That's why we're getting injuries. Ain't nobody talking about that enough to think about.
The injury stuff's been happening since day one Shanahan got here. And I put out the video in 2018 saying that they need to be held accountable because the scheme and the way they're going after these smaller guys is the reason that everyone's getting hurt. And they need to beef up. They need to bulk up. And I said, I got the video on my channel from 2018. I can put it out.
Damn. Well, my bad for just, I might miss that video because that makes so much goddamn sense. But nobody's talking about that. We're only adjusting to it.
I'd be good if we got a couple more receivers that are built like Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know if this is to your point, JD, but I know I've always, and this is no knock on Green or Diamond or Lenore, but it's just something in me that always wanted at least a cornerback that was at least 6'2" minimum.
Well, you know what?
How tall was Mooney?
Mooney, I think, was like 6'1".
Charvarius Ward, 6'1".
Yeah.
I always wanted a 6'2" with a long, but you can make up for that. You have to make up for it.
We'll see. Well, we'll see how much impact Gus Bradley really has on this defense, because he likes those type of DBs, 6'2", 6'3". So if we start drafting more of those type of guys, you'll know Gus Bradley has a pretty decent input on this defense.
Well, so did Saleh. Saleh too.
Or and he'll. Hey, watch us bring back Dante Johnson.
Oh, hell no. Hell the fuck no. That fucking guy.
I want him to do it just to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Just so I can laugh at it.
Hey, it's nice to see somebody like Dante Hittner still be like talking about the 49ers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
he's a 49er smart, man.
He's still on NBC NBC Sports Bay Area, right?
And I'm just waiting on somebody to on somebody to, not you guys, of course, but not now either. Maybe later in the conversation. His name was Dante Whitner, not Hittner. I'm like,
no, it was Hittner.
Man, oh my God! Why can't we go back to that kind of football right there?
Because every fucking time somebody gets clocked, it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And by the way, that second, that 2011, I mean, we brought it up earlier, but God, you had Whitner and bro, people forget the year Carlos Rogers had that year. He had a phenomenal year. Oh my God! I know he disappointed in 2012, but 2011, I was like, wow, we got a lockdown corner.
Deshaun Goldson, Chris Culliver.
Goldston?
Yeah.
I think I like anybody who would try to punch somebody with their helmet on. I like anybody. I just like that. Just know you they out there. But yeah, man, all those guys, man, freaking Willis. It was
Okay,
hard. It was hard to try to accept somebody who hit that hard to go off with a turf toe. That's what fucked
I
me
think
up.
I think my favorite
Smart
Deshaun
move.
Goldston here was when he laid out early Doucette
Yeah, that was the best
in
one.
Arizona.
That was the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Yeah.
And he just moved on like nothing happened. I love it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And dude was like, I want to get up, but I can't right now.
I can't move. And then
he's moving his legs. Yeah.
Was it Pierre Thomas?
Pierre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hitting the shit out of that dude.
Pierre Thomas. Oh shit. That ball just dropped, dude. It just dropped.
He was knocked out before he hit the ground.
Feet. Yeah.
That they set the tone, but that motherfucker, I remember what was they Jimmy Graham, they tied in. When he made that last touchdown and he was just using his body and just knocking niggas down, I was like, fuck. But
wasn't that on Patrick Lewis?
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I can't
think
remember
it was on. I want to say it was on Whitner.
Yeah, it might have been
I think Lewis gave up
Whitner.
a touchdown too.
Earlier
in the last 2 minutes or the last 3 minutes.
Because didn't Jimmy Graham catch it and then
Whitner,
spin?
man. I think he was chasing him down and he stiff armed his ass real good, and then he just took it to the house. And then my ass, it's a credible story with me. Everybody got their story, but everybody fucking took off already because we didn't know if the game was going to be on Saturday or Sunday by the time we found out. And I'm not that guy. I've always been the type of dude to not call in sick. I've been like, I'm going to show up. But I was like, I go in this is when I was working for Comcast. So I'm going in people's houses. I'm like, somebody better have a goddamn game on. And so nobody had the fucking game on when I'm going in these houses. And lunchtime came and I ran home. This is when I was living at the house in Fairfield, when we was in Fairfield. Tone, have you been to this house in Vacaville?
No.
Okay. But when I had just moved into that house in Fairfield and I turned the TV on, and I swear, as soon as I turned the TV on, that's when Dante Hittner hit Pierre Thomas, knocked him out right when they was about to get a touchdown, and he knocked him out and we got the ball back. And I said, fuck, I'm missing a good game. And then time was going on, and then I had to go in people's house, and I had to listen on the radio, but I couldn't see nothing. But the last house I walked in Green Valley, it was when the tight end from New Orleans, he ran it up, and everybody was like, it was full of Niner fans. And everybody was like, fuck. And then we got the ball, and then I was like, I don't know what it is, but something's telling me we finna take this motherfucker up. And then it just happened like that. And that shit was just incredible. And I said, fuck that. Oh, the NFC Championship game is on Sunday. I can go because my work days with Comcast, I worked 4 10s. So my days were Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. I was off Sunday. I immediately bought the ticket. I still have my ticket here somewhere. It was kind of rainy that day, too.
I got my ticket.
Against any Giants fans that showed up. That was just funny. And I had a Giants fan in front. I was talking shit. It was just fucked up, man. I've never seen nothing like that in my life as far as when we left out of the stadium. People were still in their seats. It was just people were crying. People were in disbelief. I just felt all of that. I felt it, and I was like, "This is fucked up."
Walking out the stadium, all you heard was the shuffling of feet because Candlestick was like a sardine can, so everyone was just crunched together. And you're walking out the stadium after the game, no one's saying a word, and all you're hearing is just feet shuffling on the ground. That's it. And I'll never forget that.
A huge difference than the week before. I wasn't at the championship game, but I was at the catch 3, and
that was
man,
the one.
I never heard Candlestick. I mean, it's got loud, and I'm sure there's other examples, but for me, that was the loudest I've ever heard. And then just walking in, just everybody was hyped up, and then the way that game ended, the back and forth, and you know, it was such a roller coaster ride. I mean, I've never seen nothing like it, man. And we were all at the seat. And I remember this one dude, this big Samoan dude, long hair, tattooed up. You know what I mean? He looked at my dad. We're walking down. He looked at my dad, and he was like, "I can't believe it." And he just was crying. And so we're all hugging each other, complete stranger. We're just walking down, high fiving everybody,
Dude,
giving
that was
hugs
something,
and stuff.
man.
It was
Man.
that was the greatest game I've ever been to, man. And I'll probably ever will be. That stadium was just, God. I can't. I wish I could
when
just
you
relive
go
that
through,
moment.
when you feel something like that, Tone, when you can still remember that feeling, it's like,
Yeah,
fuck, we supposed to go all the way with that.
yeah. Well, it's like I was saying earlier, man. I mean, you had fucking Brett Swain taking important snaps. That's how bad our receiving core was in that championship game. You know, I know Alex didn't have a good game.
I got a question for y'all too. I got a question that I just thought about. Let me Memphis is in the building. Memphis Faithful 49er. He said if we could have just got one Super Bowl between them 3 Super Bowl teams, I wouldn't feel so bad if it was some real studs on the team, on them teams, and we couldn't just get one Super Bowl. I mean, I think at the end of the day, what he's saying is, as many of the times that we've been, we should have had one.
Yes.
I think that we still can come back and say we should have won this, we should have won that. But I think just winning one of these goddamn Super Bowls, we'd have been like, nigga, we here. You know,
Yeah, it comes to a point. It's like how many chances you're gonna have, and we keep losing in heartbreaking fashion. So it's like, you know, they have that C word, the curse word. You know what I mean? So if we just had one, if we would have just won, I wouldn't give a shit about this whole quote unquote rebuild. If we could have just had one in 2019, I wouldn't give a shit about anything after that. Just give me one. I'll be good for 10 years. Just give me one.
Come on,
just
man.
Give me one. I'll be good for 10 years.
Yes. You feel the same way, JD?
That I just need one before I die. Like that's it. I just need one.
McCarver, look, check this out. Instead of watching the punk ass Eagles and Chiefs, if we would have won the year before, I wouldn't even watch the Super Bowl. I would have replayed ours. You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday, I'll be. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I would have replayed commercials and all, everything. This is the real Super Bowl.
Damn. Could anybody would have bet money that the Chiefs would have went out like that? And then I'm gonna tell you something though. To me, that just reminded me of how much we could have beat their ass in the Super Bowl. Regardless, it wasn't the same team, but we were right there. Just to say we could have beat that team. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. Was this Eagles team this year that much better than the Niner team the year before?
Their defensive line was. Their defensive line was.
Their defense was only.
Go ahead.
Their defense only because of Vic Fangio. If you take Vic Fangio away, they ain't shit.
Right. The year
they made it a point. They made it a point in the Super Bowl where it felt like there was levels. To me, we had. I mean, our roster was just as talented as theirs. Yeah, they might have an edge on the defensive side with the coaching. They had the defense line, but you know, our secondary was playing pretty damn well. You know, offensively, our running back, you know, was just right there with Saquon. You know, I mean, we matched up that well with the Eagles to the point where we were struggling to score on Kansas City, where they just blew them out. I mean, it wasn't even close. I I didn't understand. You know, you give McCaffrey, you're driving early in that Super Bowl, and the McCaffrey fumbles when you should have got some points. You were missing blocks in overtime. You know, who knows? Brock could have threw a touchdown if we didn't miss the block on that third down. I don't know,
That's
man.
That's why we need a new center, because the motherfucker Brendel sucks.
Yeah.
Brendel is cheap.
And what's our defensive line coach's name again? I forget his name. I can't think of his name.
Kosuric.
Oh, Kosuric.
Chris
Kosuric, yeah. So he was getting a lot of praise with the defensive line, especially 2021 with the rotation.
Even from me.
I mean, should we start looking at him? It's like, why is the line not producing the way it has been?
Yo, my thing is because the whole, what I was talking about, John Lynch coming over here, is you get over here and you sound good. Chris Kosuric had that energy. He had that drive. So I'm like, sometimes you think maybe that's all these skilled guys need, is somebody to just push them a little more. But yes, even with Nick Bosa on the team, there's no reason why he should just, you know, I mean, I know he's the only guy, but we got to keep this in mind about Nick Bosa too. And I don't like to say this as much as I don't like blaming the refs on everything, but they still kind of holding the motherfucker too. And they not
Oh yeah, no, they do.
I know.
So, that's why we need somebody else in there too, because you can't hold everything.
Bro, they jump on his back so much you can call him backpack.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And this is that same point in reverse. Just here's a fun fact that the Chiefs, when they played us both, they didn't get not one holding call. But the two games that they got blown out in the Super Bowl, they actually called holding.
Yep.
Hey, the same. And again, I know it's Niner talk, but it's irrelevant.
Hey, look, when they made these new stupid fucking rule changes that just came out, one that they should have put on there was offensive linemen are not allowed to get a D lineman in a rear naked choke.
The Nick Bosa rule.
Yeah. God damn, bro.
That shit is real.
That shit gets annoying.
Yeah, look, I talked about my son's basketball team. He played for Paul George Elite. We done whooped everybody's ass from Northern Cal to Southern Cal, a little bit Arizona, and Vegas. There's a team called Vegas Elite that been whooping everybody. So when we finally played them for the first time in Reno, this is what happened. We were like fucking 60-0, but we lost against them, right? We lost against them because we only went to the free throw line once. Whole second half, we didn't go to the free throw line at all, and we only lost by 1 point. So that tells you the refs.
How you only go to a free throw line one time in a basketball game?
The refs wasn't calling shit. They was in their favor, but we still didn't have that mentality to say, okay, we just should have did more. But that's what happened. But when we played them in the final Made Hoops tournament, like the championship, we whooped they ass by like 30 points. You know, and it just goes to show, man, these referees and just how they call games and shit.
They should not be allowed to affect the outcome of games.
Yeah,
fine. They should be fired. Period.
They should be fired, but that's why I always say, look, you also got to play against the referees because you got to give yourself enough leeway. You don't leave yourself close to a team to where the refs can manipulate the game like that. It was freaking
And see,
Monday night game when Katina like hurt her shoulder on the field. We lost that game against the Rams. It was close and shit.
Was it that Thursday nighter? It was that Thursday night.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Thursday night. Yeah. It was. We lost that because we left it close and shit. And you just never. You can't nowadays. You can't leave room for the refs to do shit like that. You just can't. So and you got to keep running the ball and keep your 10-point lead and shit like that.
But see, that's what pisses me off with the NFL. It's like, bro, you guys make 10, 15, $20 billion a year. Why not have these refs full-time, doing a full-time job year-round, learning, perfecting their craft, instead of having these part-time referees who are lawyers and judges in the off-season? You know what I mean? Have your full-time refs, man.
Yeah,
hey,
I agree with that. I agree 100% with that.
JD, what do you think about this Ron G question? He said, how about this trade, Brock Birdie, for a couple of picks, sign Aaron Rodgers? What do you think about that?
Fuck that.
No, JD. Now, you know what? To his point, right? I've also heard somebody say, not here, but earlier in the day, that that's a good strategy of signing. I mean, not signing, but trying to save some damn money and shit.
No, it's not.
No, but listen. What people are doing when they say sign Aaron Rodgers, right? They're saying sign Aaron Rodgers, thinking we're gonna get the Aaron Rodgers that was Aaron Rodgers, and it's like no. No, and
people that are saying
hey, Brock Purdy.
People that are saying sign Aaron Rodgers didn't watch Aaron Rodgers play in 2024.
That's what I mean, though.
If we were going to get Aaron Rodgers, it should have happened the draft day when he drafted Trey Lance. That should have been the day.
Yeah, it should have been then.
Yeah,
poor guy. You've seen
he would get killed behind this offensive line.
I don't want a 40-year-old quarterback behind this line.
Yeah, and as much as I give Shanahan shit, don't get me wrong, I'm all for criticizing Shanahan. I'm like, yes, criticize him. But with Rodgers' attitude and the way,
shout out to him for not wanting Aaron Rodgers.
I ain't got time for that. Yeah,
right.
I ain't got time for that. Man.
That was the same thing with Tom Brady.
If they move off of
that was different.
If they were to,
that was different. He should have got Tom Brady, man.
I was just gonna say, that
would have been a Super Bowl, huh? That would have just been
Tom Brady.
Oh, and the one thing about this, there's no proof. I have no physical proof in this, but it's just something that I feel. We should have got him before, instead of sticking with Jimmy G going into 2020, right? I feel that was such a horrible year with injuries and this and that. We were supposed to run it back. It was the revenge season or whatever they called it. You get Tom Brady that year, there's just something about winners, man. And there's no physical proof. This is just my thoughts, all right? There's something about just winners. There's just very few people that walk on this planet that are just good things just happen into those around them. You got your Michael Jordans, you got your Patrick Mahomes, you got your Tom Brady.
They just got it.
They just got it. So I feel like, and no proof, but I feel like you get Tom Brady in 2020 with that team, I don't think we get injured the way we are. And if we did, it's not as catastrophic as it turned out to be. I feel like our coaching staff would have been, performing well as well. I think Tom Brady would have made a big difference. Now, there's a lot of what ifs, but that's just my thought. But then you still got Tom Brady in 2021 as well.
Yeah,
so
I think we would have went back to back with Tom.
Yeah.
Now listen, I want to put this disclaimer out there right now. Because y'all gotta. It's not important. I know with this panel right here, we don't give a fuck. But a Niner fan is gonna watch this and hear what you just said. Now, what you said makes perfect sense. Oh, I know that. I know. But it makes perfect sense what you make. But some idiot is gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, we got Niner fans." Yeah, you didn't even say it, but they're gonna say, "Oh, this motherfucker sitting up here saying he loved Tom Brady. He must not love Joe Montana. He must think Tom Brady is the GOAT." No, but y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? No, logically. People
all I said was, and this is logical, we would have went back to back with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
And
look,
I'll go another step on that.
But you know,
Let's
people, it don't matter. But I would just put that out there for them. That's it.
It didn't even have to be Tom Brady. 2021, if they would have got Matthew Stafford, they would have won that Super Bowl easily.
Yeah,
I think we win that one too.
Somebody who can move that ball correctly, like not just correctly, but just have a skill of being a quarterback like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And the whole and one last thing about the Joe Montana and Tom Brady, it's like, you know, you got one who's the GOAT, and you got one who some people say he's still the GOAT. Whatever the argument is, it's like our guy and Joe, one, he's never threw an interception in the Super Bowl. But I digress.
And
anyway,
never lost the Super Bowl.
They never lost. But one thing for people can choose Tom, people choose Joe, whatever the case may be. But what I know is, if you're down by a touchdown with 2 minutes left, and this back then when rules weren't offensive rules like they are in the last 15, 20 years, in the biggest moments, I mean, I'm just saying, who would you take? I don't think there's too much of I don't think there's too much of a wrong answer, but I think there's only one answer, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Tom Brady wouldn't have been Tom Brady getting hit the way Joe took it.
Hell no. Tom Brady wouldn't have made it.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't compare the errors. That's like, I'm sorry, and I don't know if everybody agree with this, but I think the same way when it comes to LeBron and Michael Jordan, it was different. Ain't no way no LeBron. I mean, Jordan, and then I just saw another video. Good point. Jordan, most of his career, had to always be double teamed, but he still went out there and performed.
I mean, did you see what Dennis Rodman said about LeBron James?
No, what did Dennis Rodman? I would have loved to. I would have loved. I'm throwing this out real quick. I would have loved to see Dennis Rodman and World Peace go at it. Go ahead.
Hey, look, Dennis Rodman said he would have shut LeBron down, but he said before he even got to LeBron, he said Scottie Pippen would have shut his ass down.
Man, I'm telling you, there's a difference. That's why they can't. That's why you cannot compare these stupid, idiotic things. Like when Seattle used to say Russell Wilson was the next Montana. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on here?
Ain't no 3'9" midget who can run Joe Montana.
Tiger Woods looking off. That's why that's what fucked me up. And then I was
that old Carlton Banks ass lame motherfucker.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic for another. Ron G said, "Are we trading Brandon Ayuk before April 1st?"
Don't know.
I think my mic was off. Hold on, real quick. You know what's funny that you just said though? It's like these sports analysts, they pick and choose. So one, I'm a Warrior fan, been a Warrior fan all my life, right? So when we had our dynasty, this and that, everybody was saying, Steph Curry and everybody, they can't play back in the 80s and 90s, and the physicality, the game's changed. They're not as great as the Bulls in the 90s, the Showtime Lakers in the 80s, and blah, 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 right? Okay, fine, that's what you think, right? But then when it comes to football, all of these players in these offensive rules where the defense, if you sneeze on an offensive player, it's a 15-yard personal foul. All of these players in this era is the greatest, and this the greatest team and the greatest players of all time. And no one talks about the physicality of the rules and all the rule changes for the offense in football. I always found that hypocrisy funny to me.
Bro, if 90% of the receivers in today's game played back then, Ronnie Lott would have had 90% of them retired.
Yeah. But when it comes to basketball, this dynasty or these players, they're not as good as the ones in the past. The hypocrisy doesn't make sense to me at all when it comes to that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
But I don't care what anybody say. You got Michael Jordan as the GOAT, right? I don't know if anybody watches hockey, but you got Wayne Gretzky, right? That's the GOAT in there.
All day, Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
But see, what I hate is that guy from Mississippi Valley State hardly ever gets mentioned as when it comes to the GOAT in football. Now, I don't care what anybody say. That man right there is the greatest football player to ever live. Period.
I can agree with that.
Most people say it's either him or Jim Brown.
I've heard it's either him or Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor,
that
Jim
too.
Brown.
That too.
Jim Brown.
The problem with Jim Brown is, I think what messes him up with that argument is because he did stop and go do movies.
Yeah.
But
it
is what it is. These are natural athletes. You can see how athletic these guys are. That's what that was. Yeah.
Jerry's got records that'll never be broken, ever.
Ever.
You know.
They won't even be fucking sniffed.
And this is with the offensive rules the way they are now, and they're gonna get more ease on offense going forward. These records are still. I thought Larry Fitzgerald would catch one or two. I mean, just his records will never be broken.
Before he lost his mind, Antonio Brown had a stretch where I was like, he might.
Yeah.
But then he fucking went, lost his ever-loving mind. So.
Hey, I remember the Raider fans got hella hyped when he got over there. I was like, he's still crazy as hell. And then when it happened, I was like, I told you.
And that shows how good of a coach Tomlin is, man. That to keep that man playing and keep all that stuff in the locker room. Like, see how crazy he was. Tomlin is a great coach.
Well, a lot of people think it changed after Vontaze Burfict fucking took his head off. And that's why,
Yeah.
So.
I think
that game is still one of the most physical games I've ever watched. Like in recent memory, that game was nuts.
Oh, so basically, what you're saying is Antonio Brown got baptized like Vernon Davis.
Antonio Brown got CTE
on the field that day. Antonio Brown got knocked out. Vernon Davis got hit. He was still conscious, but he decided to give up.
Come on, man. Look, man. Vernon is still my boy, man. Come on now.
He can have it. He got the Java juices and shit, but that was disappointing. Anybody else could have did it, but it had to be Seattle. You know what I'm saying? It had to be, and I'm just like,
Cam Chancellor's motherfucking ass.
Hey, vet. What did Singletary sitting on his couch watching that game, seeing Vernon Davis get hit? What was going through his head when he seen it?
He probably just said, "I want winners."
Yeah, just like that. I love it. But no, Tone. The photo that popped up when the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl, and then you saw Vernon Davis on the airplane with that Lombardi. Did that feel like he deserved that?
No.
Vernon even said he did.
I wouldn't have took a picture with this shit. Yeah, I was just like, can he walk around? I mean, it's on his Wikipedia Super Bowl winner, but it's like, as an athlete, how does that make you feel? Like, you know what I mean?
But he even said that wasn't a real. So he said that in an interview. So, and you don't hear players say that too often. So, but hey man, I got nothing but love for Vernon. I know Kittle is the greatest tight end we've ever had.
Now Vernon was a big part.
He was clutch. When it comes to January, give me Vernon over Kittle. When it comes to January.
even in that NFC Championship game. When they threw the goddamn flag, but Vernon was on it, and shout out to Singletary for putting that in him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would have came around if that shit didn't happen.
You know what Singletary
cut the dreads off. He was good.
Yeah, as bad as a coach he was, And he wasn't the long-term answer, but at least in the short term, he had our defense playing really well. He turned Vernon Davis around, like you said. He had our defense playing really, really
No,
well.
that defense was back when Harbaugh got there.
Yeah,
because
no, exactly. Our teams didn't quit until the end of 2010, right? Like he had those guys playing hard, even in the end of 2009. He just couldn't make the adjustments in game, and he had one of the most horrific hirings as an offensive coordinator because he had no clue. If he had a North Turner, like if a North Turner didn't leave us, if he had like an actual offensive guy on the coaching staff, Singletary might have been here for a few years. Yeah. You know, we might not have got Harbaugh. You know, so.
And he said it. He from the old school. That just is what it is.
Oh man, I was all pro Singletary. I was all Singletary out, boy.
That was Coach Carter right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or what was the coach? Remember the Titans? What was his name?
I forget it. Yeah.
But that was him.
Yeah.
But and he even had. No, he has somebody else on defense, but you gotta bring somebody else in who knows what they're doing. That's the ultimate good coach. Shanahan.
Yeah, you know, and Shanahan's such a great offensive coordinator, and we've seen it in history in football. Sometimes great offensive coordinators don't turn out to be great head coaches, and sometimes vice versa. But he's such a great offensive coordinator, but it's like I need you to be a head coach. Right? If you need to give up play calling duties and get someone that you can trust and mold and that you know what kind of calls they're going to make, then I'll be fine with that. You got to alleviate some of that responsibility off your shoulders because not knowing the overtime rules in the Super Bowl is unforgivable. I'll never forget. I don't care how many Super Bowls he went with us. I'll never forgive him for that one.
Showing up drunk to media day at the Super Bowl is another fireable offense.
Yeah, you called me immediately. We had a long talk about that. Like you said before, if you want to be best friends with the players, no, I need you to be a head coach. There's a difference. You know, you can be a player's coach and not be everybody's best friend. Oh, Kabu gang or whatever, the Cancun or whatever the hell they call themselves. It's stupid.
And you can get drunk in Vegas after you win.
Thank you.
After you win, and they can even, and you can still be the head coach, and then you could be creative, right? Create some type of new position, right? That doesn't sound like shit, but their only job is to do what you're not doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even do that secretly. You know, I just, you know, you, man. Oh my God, this motherfucker. How you not know? Yeah, you're right.
Like, how do you get like? Think about this logic. You got one that they say could be or already is the greatest quarterback of all time. Yeah, let's give him the ball last in the Super Bowl. Like, what kind of logic is that? I don't care how much the defense has already spent. You're gonna get a commercial break, and we know Super Bowls are long commercials, right? Gonna get a commercial break after the coin toss. Or whatever, going into that overtime, hey, we need you to make a stop. And if they score a touchdown, fine. That means Brock has to go down and score a touchdown, right? And we got 4 downs to do it. You do not give Patrick Mahomes. That's like giving Joe Montana. Oh no, let me not disrespect Joe. That's like giving Tom Brady the ball last in the Super Bowl. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Right.
Oh yeah. In basketball, oh yeah, this is game 6 because Jordan never went to 7. This is game 6. Oh yeah, we're down by 2. Let's go ahead and give Jordan let Jordan shoot. You know, you don't do that. You just don't do that. So, I'll never forgive him for that. I'll never forgive him for that.
No, I know, and then now with that happen, you gotta you gotta make up for that. What you gonna do? You still here? You still around? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I'm kind of wondering if he's gonna let Clay Kubiak call any of the plays this year, because he did promote him to OC.
Right. I see why you curious too.
I don't know about regular season. I know wasn't he trying
Preseason,
in
he
the
will.
preseason?
Yeah.
And then the last game wasn't the last game with the Rams the year before or something like that? It was some weird.
Yeah, he'll do it in meaningless games. Anytime a game means anything, he ain't doing it.
I just can't. But we know he's a control freak. He's not going to give up play calling duties.
Which is crazy because the Kubiak offense basically mirrors the Shanahan offense. It's almost the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the plays, it's about the sequence of plays and setting up other plays for later in the game. That's what Shanahan excels at.
When you actually execute,
that,
and that's what I was talking about Shanahan. He's a genius, but he don't execute them at the right time.
Yeah.
But Clay Kubiak has been with him long enough. I'm sure he knows how to go through all of that.
Well, it's the same. McDaniel was with them for like 30, 40 years, right? I mean, he didn't call plays when he was with us. You know, you see him calling. Is he the one calling plays in Miami? I'm assuming so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So Cal, I mean, if Cal was gonna trust anybody, it would have been him, and he didn't even let him call plays. So
shout out to David, man. He said, "What up, everybody? 49ers all day, every day for life." That's why we here, brother. That's exactly why we here. Hey, shout out to Heat too. I see Heat, well, probably like every 4 months because he work at the school in what school is that? Riordan High School in San Francisco. He been working there for years. I do the inspections over there, so he be over there. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry, I cut somebody off. My bad.
Oh no, you do. Just Kubiak. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him in preseason, seeing what plays, you know, what kind of game he will call. But as far as meaningful games, like JD said, there's just no way Shannon's going to give that up, that control.
And I'll make this argument. What offensive coach do you know that doesn't call plays?
Okay. Huh.
Right.
You have to,
because it's in their nature, it's in their blood. They got an urge to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Especially somebody like Shanahan.
Like, I can't think of one. An offensive-minded head coach that doesn't call plays. I can't think of one. Maybe, I mean, you can make the argument Jim Harbaugh, but he's never been a play caller. He's just a rah-rah guy.
Yeah. But I know what you mean, like an actual
offensive guy.
Yeah, this is his system. He built this.
I got a question for you guys. So, say we did trade Brandon Ayuk before that $22 million bonus kicks in. What kind of package do you think we could even get for him?
A 6th-round
pick.
Yeah, I would say no more than a 5th, and that's me being hopeful.
And the talk is that the Niners might actually have to even add in a 3rd-round pick of their own to sweeten the deal because you're asking another team to take damaged goods and pay that or take that salary off your hands. So you would have to give up assets to help take that salary. That's like an NBA move.
Yeah. That's just that was such a horrible signing.
Yeah, because it's crazy because this year alone, between his normal base pay and all the bonuses Brandon Ayuk is supposed to get just this year alone, we're paying off half of his contract already, $60 million this year.
Yeah. I know they front-loaded the shit out of his contract. I know Jed's going to have to back up that Brinks truck to Ayuk's house, a special delivery. I don't know how that would work with the salary cap, if that would make it a little easier after, but yeah,
well, from what I heard, if we were to trade him before April 1st, the Niners will save like $110 million of that contract.
You know,
and I guess something is better than nothing.
Yeah, it sucks because Ayuk is such a dog. I like him as our number one. The money and the circumstances, it's not worth it.
I've been done with Ayuk since the contract drama. I've been done with him since then.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all think
all the social media shit.
What is Ayuk thinking right now with all of the shit chatter? You think he want to come out and prove his stuff?
He better. Shit.
He better, yeah.
Yeah.
He most definitely better.
He better. You know.
Yeah.
Him and Brock have a good, rapport. IU has came up with some clutch late game type of catches, especially on, it's just that's a lot of money going into a wide receiver with a team that wants to run the ball. It's just
I know.
Lot. And we're getting a production from Juwan, which is surprising because I love Juwan Jennings. I just didn't know he was going to be our best receiver. And then the emergence of Pearsall. Pearsall really showed a lot. And you can ask JD. I've been hating on Ricky Pearsall since we drafted him. Right.
And you can tell Tone. I've been telling Tone since the draft. Watch Ricky.
Yeah.
Watch.
And but the last few games he showed me a lot. So I really want to see him with the offseason. One, I want to see him with the offseason that he doesn't get shot, right? Like let's take the bullet away.
Leave the Rolex at home.
Offseason. Yeah. Let's just do it. Let's see him just have a normal season where he doesn't get shot.
Because Ricky's last 2 games, I think he had 14 catches, 200 plus yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then you see the way Shanahan was using them too. You see, I see the creativity. So I'm excited to see Pearsall. He's got to change that number 14 though. He's got to change number 14.
He already did. He's number 1. He went back to 1.
Good. See, I'm not on social media, so you guys got to. JD knows you guys got to keep me updated.
Yeah, 14 is hella ugly for a receiver.
Well, I'm just worried about being in the parking lot, man. A lot. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of red 14s out there, man. Like, oh man.
Oh shit.
When these rookies come in here,
JTOs were sold out back in the day.
Yeah. When these rookies come in here, they gotta have somebody who takes them under their wing. And it's like, who the fuck didn't tell this guy to keep your jury at home?
Yeah, but he was in a good spot though. The
nowhere
spot he was
down
in
there.
Downtown, he was in a good
Frisco
spot.
Frisco is fucked up. All downtown, even Union
mean,
Square, all that is fucked up now. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying it wasn't like he was in, Hunters Point or the Tenderloin or anything like that. He was in downtown.
Yeah.
And it was one of them youngsters, North Day dudes from Tracy.
And the mistake he made, he tried to fight with the dude to get his watch.
That's well, yeah.
Did he get it?
Fuck all that. Just give him the watch. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten robbed before when I worked at a Verizon store. This was over 10 years ago. Had the gun to my face. I was the only one there with and I was helping a family. I was selling a couple iPhones to their teenage daughters, and so yeah, I just gave them the money, man. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, man.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the exact date that the schedule with the actual times and dates that we play these games comes out?
They haven't announced it yet, but I'm going to give you a ballpark. It'll probably be Wednesday the 14th or Thursday the 15th of May. That's my guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, because again, bringing back to
that. What did you ask? I missed that, bro. What you asked?
Oh, I just asked when the actual schedule comes out, when we play.
The times and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be April. I don't know why it's in May now.
Yeah, it used to be before the draft.
Yeah, before the draft. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the draft used to be middle of April.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I just because I want that away Seattle game. I want it to be at a decent time of the year because I want to go up to Seattle and I don't want to sit in that shitbag stadium in the rain.
I would love to go to a road one.
Yeah.
I want to go there so bad. I want to go there.
Maybe you can meet up with Hawksnest, Vet.
Stop it right now. Hey,
Yo, love
watch
this
him
team.
cry. Watch him cry in person.
I told Pigpen if I ever go to Seattle, I'm gonna hook up with him. He said let's go. We'll go to the game together.
It's two guys. Yeah, it's two guys that I think I did try to hit up Pigpen, but I think that was around the time where he just wasn't making videos. And
I'll
then,
just link up with Primo
I
when I
will
go
meet
up
up
there.
with Primo for sure, because Primo he's still here. He seemed like he's been he even used to date a little Niner. He had a Niner girlfriend for a minute too. I used to tease him about that. But those are the only two guys. I don't know about everybody else. I know Pigpen has been here for a while, but Primo has always been here as long as I've been here. He's still around.
Dicer 67 died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, rest in peace. I remember that. Oh, damn. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he died a while back.
Wow. Oh, rest in peace.
Oh.
Hey, yeah, rest in peace, man. I don't think I've never had any interactions with him, but I've heard his name a lot of times. When I first came in, I mentioned this guy's name too, and nobody even knows. Even Saints Uptown doesn't know. But I was like, what happened to Who Dat True Dat? He just disappeared too out the blue. You know? These was real TTC shit talkers when I remember when I came in. You know?
I don't remember. I don't think McCarver will know this name, but I think Tone might. Eric, the Hawks fan.
Yeah.
Yep. He was a good dude.
You know what was funny about the TTC back in the day? One thing I did love was that it was like everything was like it was organized, but it was unorganized, right? Like everybody had their division, right? You had your divisional, and you had the hate weeks with your certain rivals and stuff. People would show out for that. I just always thought that shit was pretty cool.
Everybody had the blueprint. Different people just had different tools to put it together. That's what it was.
Man, I'm telling y'all, that was some of the that was so exciting, man.
And what's funny, you have all these guys now on YouTube that are talking, football, NFL, and I do it. I do the analyst stuff now. I don't do the TTC style videos. I haven't done that shit since like 2011. But all these guys are doing the ESPN style stuff now. If you would have been doing that back when me and Tone started, you would have got made fun of. You would have got laughed off. Fucking
ripped
YouTube.
His head off, huh?
Yeah. That's
man.
a great point. Yeah,
man.
Especially if you're trying to make videos while you're skiing down a slope, talking 49ers while you're asking your wife to hold the camera. This is cornball shit.
Wasn't that Lombardi that did that?
Yeah. That was one of the most cringe-worthy videos I've ever seen. It's like enjoy your vacation, bro. Just enjoy your vacation.
And then Grant starts doing food reviews, so Lombardi starts doing food reviews.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He didn't fucking kind of had me like, man, I want to try it if I'm there on that day. You know.
And Grant's going to places in East Oakland. Lombardi's like, oh, I'm in Paris. Like, come on.
Yeah. That was hella funny though when I can't think of his fucking name, man.
Yeah, Grant said he's going around Oakland doing it because that's where he's from.
Yeah, he's from out there, so he could do that. Damn it. What is the defensive lineman that went off on Grant Cohn?
Huh?
What's that?
The guy that went off on Grant Cohn talking about his
Javon
nuts
Kinlaw.
is bigger than his.
Javon Kinlaw.
Oh, that was Kinlaw.
Yeah, he got a
that
job
shit
too.
was
Why is
funny
he
as
still
hell.
working?
That shit was funny as hell.
Someone just signed this punk ass.
Yeah, somebody did just sign him.
He's making $15 million a year in Washington.
What the hell did I do wrong in my life?
Right?
That dude is worthless. That dude is worthless. Like, how's he getting $15 million? That is crazy.
That's okay.
I mean,
how the fuck did Aaron Banks get $77 million?
77.
You know what, Aaron? What was wrong with Aaron Banks this past year? Because I had a lot of high hope from him. He was really good.
He got hurt, and then he also didn't have Trent next to him, helping him out all the time. So
Yeah, exactly. Trent covered up a lot of warts in Aaron Banks's game.
And then Banks had Brendel on the other side of him, so Banks is going to look bad with no Trent, and then he's next to Brendel. Banks is going to get exposed.
Well, Banks ain't going to have motherfucking Trent in Green Bay.
Yeah. We got. You know
what? He gonna have 77 million though.
We gotta shore up this offensive line. Like one thing about Shanahan and his downfall, we talk about all the schemes and the sometimes the play calling, the decision making in games or whatever the case. One thing that's been really bad is his emphasis on the offensive line and special teams. That's one thing that Harbaugh had on him that those teams, the Harbaugh teams, were deadly with. Because we pushed you on that line, and our special teams won games for us.
Something I heard the other day, I can't remember whose channel it was, but they said something about if the Niners draft a tackle in round 1, there is probably a really high chance that they take McKivitz, move him from right tackle and play left guard next to Trent.
Yep.
And then we start the rookie at right tackle.
I can see that. But see, we still need a plan for Trent. Like we're acting like Trent's gonna play forever.
That's what the rookie's for. We draft the rookie tackle. He'll play right tackle until Trent leaves, and then move over to left tackle.
No, and that's what we're. Who's our offensive line that went to Denver a couple years ago? Because that's what the original plan, huh?
McGlinchey.
Yeah, McGlinchey. That was his original plan. That's what we were supposed to do with him.
But didn't McGlinchey only play right tackle at Notre Dame?
I don't remember.
I thought it was just left.
But yeah, he was Joe Staley's homeboy, so I think that was the plan, though.
Yeah, and I remember him moving to right tackle when we drafted him, like you were saying, and he had to learn because the step, like his footwork was like in reverse or something like that.
But see, I think if we draft someone like a Will Campbell or a Kelvin Banks or something like that, those guys are natural left tackles, and I think with them playing right tackle and then moving over, it wouldn't be a big issue.
I just can't see us taking an offensive lineman at 11. If we do, I'll be shocked because they've never put a priority on the O-line.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I'm just saying if it's a possibility.
But we have to. Ben, I'm with you. I feel like I mean, I know that was before Harbaugh, but. Singletary, we had 2 first-round picks, and that shored up our entire offensive line for the next 3-4 years.
I get that, but look, I want Nolan's
Walter Nolan.
I want Walter Nolan in the first round on the D tackle and shore up that D line a little bit.
The thing is, with the way our offensive line is set up right now, you can go play a game right now with our offensive line. We don't have anybody at D tackle. We don't have anybody at the edge. Like, we got to rebuild that defensive line now, immediately.
Yes.
No, I get that. But it's also, though, how bad is that? It's like we spent so much draft capital and free agency money on that defensive line. We're talking about we got to rebuild this defensive line.
But the good teams draft D linemen every year. And the Niners need to get back to that. They haven't really drafted that many D linemen lately. They need to get back to that.
True.
A good point.
And really, a lot of people are kind of overhyping the 49ers' success on the D-line under Shanahan because that first year, of course, drafting Bosa, that was easy. Anyone would have made that pick. But they had Buckner and Armstead, and that wasn't a Shanahan pick. They inherited those guys.
They were there.
So that D-line and the whole reputation that we've had about, we have great D-lines under Saleh and D'Amico and blah, 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 that started because of Armstead and Buckner, before Shanahan got here, they haven't actually done all that great at assembling defensive lines.
And JD, to your earlier point, them two boys had size on them too.
Yep.
Well, look, and hey, I'll say something right now. If they want to assemble a D line, this is the draft to do it because it's fucking deep.
Well, then let's do it.
And I'm going to give you my hot take for this draft. Don't be surprised if this happens. The Niners haven't spent any cap space. They got a bunch of money. They can do whatever they want. I think the Niners are going to end up with 2 first-round picks, and I think they may go maybe offensive line, defensive line, maybe 2 defensive linemen. I think they're going to have 2 first-round picks in this draft when it's done.
How do you think they're going to get? How do you think they're going to get those? Well, another one.
I mean, they have 11, 12 picks in this draft. And maybe
2 or 3 other picks,
maybe a future asset, something. I think they're going to try and move up.
Yeah, I was going to say with this draft and next year's draft, we have a total of 21 draft picks.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and move up back into the first round, or maybe early second round or something. They're going to do something because they have the money to do it.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I could see that.
Yeah, I just don't give up a whole bunch of draft capital to get back in the first round if you don't need to. That Trey Lance trade has got me.
And this team has done that. They moved up in the first round to get Reuben Foster. Remember that one? And then
remember that one? We were so hyped, boy.
And Salami, they had Salami Thomas that year, right?
Yeah.
Didn't even look at Patrick Mahomes and all that because we were so hell bent on Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Great discussion, guys. There's always something to talk about. Getting close to the draft. Hopefully, we can stack up on the defensive line since the draft is just stacked on those, and we can get back to putting pressure on the quarterback and get some sacks. And Nick Bosa living up to his part of the bargain and things of that nature. But for those who have been watching this video, we're just not regular people that's just hopping on here. We've been on here. Shout out to JD and 49er Tone. They've been here since 2009 repping these Niners, but we've been here. We've been here for years. Racky Vet.
I mean, we've got what, 50, 60 total combined years of YouTube experience.
Something like that.
So we just tell it, and we may not all have the same opinion, but we telling it like it. I think, in my opinion, it should be told on YouTube, not just saying shit people want to hear. People, how we really feel, because you have to go back and say this shit didn't work. I felt like this when this happened. Let's do this. But they're doing this. Y'all already know. I think we can all agree, though. This team would have been shit with Trent Baalke still here, but that's a whole nother. But anyway, I just thought I'd try to end it with some humor. I hate to get off, but I have to get off, y'all. It's been nice talking to my brothers again, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. 49er Tone, JD, Racky Vet, even the ones that's been in here talking and all that.
Thing, right?
Right. And we gonna get this thing cracking to the way it's supposed to be. We gonna do something to where we can post it.
Something to sip on. Next week I'm gonna get something to sip on for the stream. Yeah.
I tell you what, Tone. When is the next holiday on a Monday?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming up in May. That Friday night.
May.
Fuck it. Because I even stopped for a while, and I'll do that. Fuck it. Let's have some fun.
All right. Yeah.
That Friday, because a nigga like me, I'm 42, about to be 43. Friday night, I'll be able to do that, but I might need Saturday and Sunday, and even that Monday to clear out.
That's why you get. Hey, that's why and I should have known this. I'm 37. I should have known this in my 20s. But that's why you get those Gatorade lights, those electrolyte, the Gatorade ones,
Yeah.
the Gator light. You knock one and two of those, you good. You straight.
That's true. That's true. But that's a whole nother topic for them Gatorade shit and ingredients and all that. Cause I'm way past that. Matter of fact, wait a minute. You know what? Actually, you can never go wrong with and this gonna sound weird to a lot. This might sound weird to a nigga named Mr. Frisco, and his ass gonna be there that night too. That's a perfect night for Mr. Frisco. So please, everybody that's on here, have all your cowboy questions, please. But Mr. Frisco might not, I could be wrong, but he might not know nothing about like organic like alcohol, like tequila from Mexico.
Organic and alcohol with Frisco? That shit ain't happening, Chief.
Right. But you take a bottle from Mexico, drink the whole damn thing, you're going to feel better tomorrow versus buying the same bottle that was made out here. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother topic. Yeah, that's a whole nother. But that's going to be fun. And you know what? We're going to have some good guests on there because you know who I'm going to bring on that night too? I'm going to bring on Joe, Niner Empire.
Yeah.
And we're going to be our drink song. And we're going to ask that fool all kind of crazy questions. That motherfucker crazy too. Y'all don't know that. But he crazy too. He crazy. He a fun crazy is what I mean. Not like a he a fun crazy. So we gonna put that together. That's gonna be fun as hell. This panel might be kind of big that night, but I want to have 49 cents on here if we can get to him. I'm gonna try to call him.
I got a question for you. Have you paid for the monthly subscription?
For what?
For StreamYard, because if you have it, you can only put 6 people at a time.
Oh yeah, that's true. They must have some kind of trial version, so I'll figure that shit out just to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you pay for it, you can get 10.
But we gonna get that going. That's gonna be fun, and we can either. I think we should hop on here as Niner fans, and then we can let other people get on, and I think that's gonna be fun. We'll talk about it more.
What's everybody doing for the draft?
Oh well, I know. I like I said before. I'll probably be on that Friday. Yeah, I'll probably be on that Friday as usual. But for the first round pick, shit. I know my son has practice. I'll hop on though with my phone. And I'm really debating on no. I think Vet, you said you was gonna be on when? Saturday?
It'll be Saturday. It'll be all day, day 3, 4 through 7.
Okay. I'm gonna just hop on. I'm gonna just hop on then with Vet. And then we can just hop on there and talk about what we got to talk about. But being selfish for a split second because I'm a Niner fan and I don't want this to happen. But if it does happen, if we end up picking some random kicker, I want to be there on Vet's channel.
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't.
I won't be
because there. I'm going to jail over that one.
I want to be there.
I'm telling you. Hey, look, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I might go outside, find some random Seahawk fan, and punch him in the fucking face.
Man, what's crazy is, again, that's a whole nother topic, but I don't know.
Wait, my bad. I forgot. I can't find random Seahawk fans up here until the games are actually started to be played because they hide all their Seahawk gear until they play games. And then when they lose, they put it back in their closet.
Yeah.
Little fucking pussies.
Damn. I just want you to randomly, like, bump into Hawks in this, though. Not to say.
No, you don't.
Yeah, that is the worst. We don't want nothing physical or anything to come out of just a TTC thing. But I've seen some shit, and this shit was just funny as hell, man. It was so much Seahawks fans on here. Oh my god, that just randomly they just was here for the ride, and then they just disappeared.
When they realized that they wasn't gonna win no more motherfucking punk ass little goddamn whack ass rings, they said, no, we can't do this no more.
But 24/7. Not that it fucking matters, you know, because hey, JD and Tone, did they have this whole TTC Video Maker of the Year shit when y'all started?
I think the award started in either 2009 or 2010. So yeah, the awards,
okay.
The award stuff started way back in the day.
Okay, so yeah, that year just 24/7 Seahawk. He won and then he just never came back. It just told me how to approach the next season and how to really hit his ass, and he just wasn't there. And I just was like, it was my fault, but really, you know, trying to take in too much, you know, of the T. I had so much fun with the TTC though. I think again, I don't know what you guys. I wasn't there to actually feel what it was like. You know what I mean? But I know that. But I think by the time I came around, it was so many freaking fan bases for teams, and I think in my era, the Seahawks was the most annoying, but the most fun to go after. In like when I first got in there, and then after was the freaking NFC South guys, especially Atlanta Falcon fans. I always look
forward to my videos with Pigpen. That was always my highlight of my year.
Yeah, and Pigpen, it's just so you know, Pigpen is the type of guy that when you guys are going back and forth, and then everybody hates losing, but if you have to crow to Pigpen, then it's like, okay, I'll cry.
Yeah.
Not to say it feels good to lose, but it just the crow is like, okay, man. Shout out to you, brother.
And then when he crows, he'll do a whole old English 40-ounce.
Yeah,
down over Vegas, like damn, much respect for that.
It was some fucking assholes. I think when I started, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make fun of your dirty ass clothes, and that shit went crazy, man. It just turned a whole different. It just half them Panther fans are not here anymore because I took that route.
The Seahawks, the rivalry, the division rivalry, the players, the history, like, you know, but I do feel like it means just a tad bit more for the video makers because that rivalry on YouTube, I don't know, it just added a little something to hate the Seahawks. You know what I mean?
I think those little bets was going on too with y'all, right? Like back then, like. What was that drink that somebody had to take?
The NFC West smoothie.
Yeah, it was Skittles and what was that? See, that's why we got to do a whole video on that.
Yeah, I wasn't in that one, but I remember that though. Yeah.
Fun, man. Freaking fun, man. But yeah, all right, y'all. Yeah, man. I hate to end this, but
no, it's all good, man.
Before you go. Speaking of bets and Seahawk fans and Pigpen, check this out.
Dude, that was a video too, huh? That was a video.
It was a video that he made wearing this, and I won a bet and had him sign it and had him send it to me, and I've had it for forever.
See,
you can see it on the E.
Why can't we go back to that? Why?
See, you see the creativity. He had that made and bought it and whatever and put it in the video. This is what I was saying last week. That was real content creating. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like that term because at least back then, you guys made content. Like it was creative. You know, you couldn't come with the same.
And it was all football. It wasn't all this other.
Yeah.
It wasn't doxing people and calling people's jobs and shit like that.
Yeah. That shit's crazy, man.
They didn't have nothing
Oh,
else. That's why they went.
You
that
made me mad. I'm gonna get you fired. Like this shit's corny. That shit's
Yeah.
I will say I made a video about the Seahawks one year, and I woke up the next day with 3,000 views and people offering to fly me out to Seattle because they wanted to fight me. I was getting death threats and shit. Like, you know, I had that happen. But
Man, see, people, man, just ruined. People should have this should have been like a thing though. Some type of copyright.
But look though, look where society is now. It couldn't exist now. It can't exist now.
Way off now, yeah.
Oh, hell no. The words everybody was using and that wouldn't last no more.
Yeah, It's especially against our team, right? That we had to defend. They use that name and word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they couldn't do it anymore. So I get it. You know, yeah, it just sucks. That's when it was very exciting then, though. It was just very, very exciting. It sucked when you lost, but that was just part of everything. You know, it just was part of it.
Bro, I know you gotta go, but real cool. What made you?
And I got more time. I'm just trying to, you know, the wife. She just got home and stuff. So, but go ahead.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you want to make a video? What was your thought process? What made you want to do it?
Dude, I have just got into that house.
Okay.
And I was able to, I had my TV up and stuff, and I said, I'm going to invite some people over for this Niner game. And it was the 2012 season, first game of the season, Green Bay Packers. I had my iPad. That's when iPads was hot. So I had my iPad, and I was like, I'm going to just record us watching the game, and I'm going to put a video together for myself. When I sat back and watched everything, I said, I'm gonna just post this on YouTube. You know, I'm post on YouTube. And then at that point, I started getting all of these comments. Hey, are you part of the TTC? Are you part of the TTC? Great video. Go Niners. Are you part of the TTC? I was like, what the hell is the TTC? And then somebody said, Trash Talking Circle. I was like, but I wasn't talking trash in my video. They was like, no, this is what
it didn't matter. You would get jumped in. If you made videos talking about the Niners, you'd have other fan bases coming at you talking shit automatically. Like you got jumped into the TTC whether you wanted to do it or not.
And then week two was against the Lions. And that's when Harbaugh and I forgot that Lions coach name. Schwartz. Yeah, that's when that went down after the game. But I was like, oh, you talk trash. So what I did is I just went on there being goofy, making fun of the Lions, not really knowing there was Lion fans that were making videos. I just thought that I'd get on making fun of their team. And then when I got a whiff of it after that, I said, oh, you're supposed to go against the other fans. So I think that was the third game against that year. That's right. It was the 3 New York teams that we played in order. It was the Jets after that, then it was the Giants, and then no. It was Buffalo, and then the
Giants.
That's
when we blew them out, right?
Oh, the Jets. That's when we kicked their ass, and we went to a Jets friend's house to watch the game, and I was talking trash in there, all on video. It's still on my channel. It's still there. And then I think after that game, that's when they said, no, there's video makers on here. I don't think nobody at that time was a Jets fan making videos. But JD and Tone, y'all got to help me out with this one, because this was the first person that got under my skin, and then he turned out to not be that so great. He was a Giants fan. I think he was Italian. It wasn't none of the guys it wasn't Cop Pizzle or anybody.
Not New York Giant Pride?
Who?
New York Giant Pride?
No.
Probably
No,
not
no,
him.
no,
He
no.
was probably before your time.
No, it was some short. I don't know how. I know he had to been shorter than
Terabelly?
me.
Terabelly.
No. This guy did not. He was there, and I'll tell you what he did. You might remember the video. I saw his video, and he got under my skin because it was the first time I heard somebody really like start talking shit about Niner fans, right? And so I made my video and I talked my trash, and then we lost that game. Freaking Carlos Rogers, right? He was just getting off on it. And then he did some video. I'm telling you what he did. His victory video. He walked to this big ass dumpster talking shit. I can't believe these motherfuckers showed up, didn't do shit, and he threw some Niner shit in there, and he was pissed. And he was just talking so much shit. And I wanted him to still be around next season, and he disappeared. I'm gonna figure out his name though. I'm gonna go to that video and I'm gonna find his name. But he would not. He was so arrogant, and it just some short. He might not even been Italian. I'm just assuming he was just some short fuck. He just got under my skin.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find his name, and you gonna know. But that's the venture, and then I think was it a bye week after that? And then I think that's when I kind of got into the whole thing. And then we played New Orleans. And then I think the New Orleans video is what, like, when I really got into really getting into it and talking shit. That's how it happened, Tone. That's a long answer, my bad, but that's how it happened. I just posted a video on YouTube, and then people kind of like, hey, are you TTC?
People found you because that's what we used to have to do back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was no
and I didn't know. Yeah. And then the next year the next year was fun. I do like the fact that, like, when me and 49ers Sense talked, he was like, dude, we gotta do videos together. And I was like, I agree. Let's clown these motherfuckers. But no, that first year, that's when we collabed on that. It was cool. Well, hold on, man.
I tell you what, when I first seen y'all videos, bro, just like JD said, you had to just try to find people, and I came across y'all's, and boy, I mean, I know it's probably, it's like normal now, but back then, your guys' editing and the way you guys set up all your videos, it looked so professional, and so. To me, I was like, oh, these dudes are fucking raw. And they funny as hell talking shit. Oh, man, yeah. So I was hooked. As soon as I've seen you guys, man, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, these dudes are the truth, man. I like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Tone. It was just the reason why I did it is just because I just loved being creative. And that's why I got a whole bunch of videos, and it's not football related, but I got a whole bunch of videos that I put together that's kind of like funny to like life and nature and stuff, because that's just always been in me. Back when I was in high school, I used to get my friends together in the neighborhood, and we used to just make like videos. Like we used to like reenact Jerry Springer or some shit like that, and then I would put it together. And I think a lot of that just happened. But I went back on my video. Damn, this was 12 years ago. 49ers versus Giants 2012 pregame video. The exact date was October 10th, 2012. I don't have any comments under that video, and I knew I have comments on there.
You don't have comments because it's privated, right?
Okay.
If you unprivate it, you'll see the comments.
Okay.
But all right, McCarver, I'm gonna hop off, brother. It's getting late, my man. Thank you for doing this again and having us up, man. I appreciate it.
Man, you already know, man. Who is 916 real quick? They just threw up the peace sign. But shout out to you, brother. We'll be on here next week. Let's get some more people on, and others. If y'all here, I put the link in the description box, man. Pop in for a second. You don't have to be on there the whole time. We want to hear what you thinking. We're not gonna shoot you down or nothing. We all don't think alike, we just want to know what you think. Maybe you got an uncle on the team or something. We don't know. That's cool. But but all right, Tom, all right, JD.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate y'all,
Yeah.
man. You already know.
All right, my brothers.
Yeah, like I said, next week I'm gonna have the internet better, the mic gonna sound better, and all that, and we gonna sound Krispy Kremes next time. But it is your man C.McCarver.Jr. And ultimately, we asked the question: will the 49ers make the playoffs this season? Yes, they will. And we can come back to this video if y'all don't think otherwise. But if y'all see this after, leave a comment and we'll talk about it. But I'll catch you in traffic, man. Peace.